good morning and welcome to Sydney and welcome to the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf back on your screens for the first time since 2019. My name is Liam Flanagan, alongside me, Tammy Barker. We are live from Hyde Park in the Sydney CBD, Tammy, with the best seats in the house for the biggest fun run in the world.
Liam, what a thrill it is to be right here at Hyde Park. Good morning to everyone. You might be watching around Australia on 9 Now, or perhaps around the world for this iconic race via YouTube. 90,000 participants. We are ready to rock. It's an absolutely stunning day, and the atmosphere here is absolutely building.
And the conditions couldn't be better. We've got incredible conditions this morning for what is, as we said, Tammy, 90,000 people, the biggest fun run in the world, over one of the most iconic 14-kilometre courses you'll find anywhere.
Liam, we're going to hear a lot about the history throughout the race, the elite athletes and all those participants. But I want to talk about 56 years. You mentioned the word iconic. We've got 14 legends. There's so much entertainment on course. It is a stunning day in Sydney. I know the locals are looking forward to this, but I love the fact that people are just travelling from all around the world to be a part of this, but then they're tuning in as well. We are so lucky to be here.
Absolutely. Best seats in the house, live from Hyde Park, right in the heart of this incredible city. We've got a chock-a-block elite field. You can see on your screens there, the elites will kick things off, along with some of our faster hobby joggers, some of the quick athletes that are prepared for their big race today. And then we start to get into some of our other qualifying waves, the green group, then our charity group. Incredible amount of funds raised for the race today. You'll see the rainbow group going. We've got our purple start, the rebel blue group as well, Tammy, the yellow, and finally the orange group. The walkers, the joggers, the mum and dads with prams. It's a great day out here in Sydney.
I did hear a fun fact. There was a baby born in June this year, and that little one, 0 years old, will be pushed along or be a part of this incredible, iconic race.
0 years old.
0 years old.
One City2Surf completed. Absolutely outstanding stuff. Well, look, we are preparing ourselves. We're counting down to the elite start, the red wave start of this incredible race. But why don't we take a moment to look back at the history, as you said, 56th running of this incredible race. Why don't we take a moment to look at the history of the Voltaren City2Surf?
It started with a newspaper clipping, an ambitious idea, and just over 2,000 runners. In 1970, a Fairfax correspondent sent home a story about San Francisco's famous Bay to Breakers race. The clipping landed on the desk of the Sun editor Jack Tier, and before long, Sydney had a fun run of its own. The first City2Surf hit the streets in 1971, with 2,025 entrants making their way from the city to Bondi. The shorts were short, the moustaches were magnificent, and just 2% of the field were women. But what began as a humble local road race quickly became a Sydney institution. The course has challenged generations of runners, winding through King's Cross and the eastern suburbs before reaching the climb everyone knows and very few genuinely love, Heartbreak Hill. It arrives around the halfway mark, long, steep and perfectly positioned to make runners question every life decision that brought them there. But conquer the hill and Bondi Beach and the finish line awaits. City2Surf has also attracted some of Australia's greatest athletes. Robert de Castella won twice. Steve Monaghetti claimed 4 consecutive victories and set the men's course record of 40 minutes and 3 seconds in 1991. Susie Power set the women's record of 45 minutes and 8 seconds a decade later. More than half a century after that first starting gun, City2Surf has grown into the world's largest fun run. But the Voltaren City2Surf has never been just about winning. It's superheroes, tutus, questionable costumes, charity champions, and tens of thousands of Sydneysiders moving together. From a humble local race to the world's largest fun run, one thing hasn't changed. Sydney still knows how to turn 14 kilometres into one enormous party.
Tell you what, Tammy, if you're sitting at home watching that, thinking, why am I not in my short shorts ready to run the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026.
I love the nostalgia that brings back. We mentioned the mustaches, the shorts, even the prams. I love the history of what this race has.
I did try and grow a moustache for today. I started last year and it just still hasn't come through yet, so I apologise for that.
What about the records that have been held? Monas, 40.03, Susie Power as well, incredible. Can those records be broken today?
Well, it's a 35-year race record that Steve Monaghetti holds, and look, last year, Isaac Hine, 29 seconds or thereabouts off it, so the elite field on their day, capable of breaking both records. We'll get stuck into the elite preview a bit later on, but again, on their day, the athletes we've got lined up for the elite start today, more than capable of taking Steve Monaghetti's record that's been held for 35 years.
Let's talk about the course. 14 kilometres is what we know, starting here at Hyde Park, running through to Bondi Beach. Liam, you've done this race before, Heartbreak Hill, everyone talks about it. It's an exciting course, an iconic course. What are some of your favourites?
The finish line. Finishing this race is the highlight, and I can guarantee for 80,000 or thereabouts of the 90,000 that start this race today, that finish line in Bondi is what they're all thinking about. When they hit the hill, they'll be thinking about the finish line. When they hit the start line, they'll be thinking about the finish line. That Bondi finish is absolutely iconic.
Let's take a little look at our course preview so you can see what our athletes have ahead of them.
The iconic City2Surf is back. As the world's biggest fun run returns to the streets of Sydney, tens of thousands of runners are ready to take on the iconic 14-kilometre journey from Hyde Park to Bondi Beach. The countdown is over, the bib's on, and there's only one thing left to do: embrace every step. So settle in, enjoy the ride, and let's take a look at the course.
Check it.
It all begins with the famous run down William Street. As the city comes alive around you, thousands of runners pour towards the harbour in one of the most unforgettable sights of the day. Enjoy the downhill while it lasts. There are still a few challenges waiting further ahead. After the opening kilometres, the course starts to roll. A series of gentle climbs will test the legs before you reach the beautiful waterfront at Rose Bay. It's one of the most picturesque sections of the course, but with runners all around, it's worth keeping your eyes up and your pace steady. Along the way, you'll pass entertainment zones, live music, and crowds of supporters creating the atmosphere that makes City2Surf unlike any other event. Every corner has something to lift your spirits and keep you moving forward. As you approach the halfway point, it's time to meet the course's most famous challenge, Heartbreak Hill. The climb stretches for around 1.5 kilometres, but don't let the name fool you. Take it one step at a time, and the reward at the top is well worth the effort. When you reach the summit, take a moment to look back across Sydney. It's one of the best views on the course and the perfect excuse to grab a photo before pushing on. From there, the road winds through Vaucluse and Dover Heights, where sweeping ocean views remind you that Bondi isn't far away. The finish is getting closer and the excitement starts to build. The final kilometres are all downhill. Let gravity lend a hand as you make your way towards Bondi Beach, where thousands of supporters are waiting to cheer you home. Cross the finish line, catch your breath, and take it all in. Whether it's your first City2Surf or another chapter in a long tradition, you've just completed the world's largest fun run. Congratulations, you've earned it.
Check.
Smiles for days at the finish line of the Voltaren City2Surf, Tammy. You're guaranteed of that. We are so fortunate today to have cameras set up all over this incredible course. 14 kilometres, goes through some iconic parts of Sydney, as we've mentioned. We've got the best seats in the house here for the start this morning. We're live from Hyde Park in the Sydney CBD for the beginning of the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf. We put cameras everywhere. There's some people that don't even know they've got cameras on them this morning, Tammy.
I love this, Liam, because we know we have people from all around the world and Australia tuning in, watching this now. We want you to be part of the action. So cameras up in Rose Bay, of course along Heartbreak Hill, Vaucluse, and dedicated cameras as well for our elite race.
Absolutely. We'll be covering the elite races, the men's and women's field, and we're going to get previewing that a bit later on in the coverage this morning, because we believe there could be a chance that one of the race records falls this morning. But whilst we have the best seat in the house this morning for the start here live from Hyde Park, the man who I think has the best seat for the entire race, he's down in Bondi this morning. He's rugged up because despite it being good racing conditions, I believe our man Pete Murray might be a little chilly this morning. Let's cross down to him live. Pete, what's it like down at Bondi?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the finish line. As Liam Flanagan just mentioned, this is where 90,000 people are heading from Hyde Park. 14 kilometres will get them to here, the world-famous Bondi Beach. At the moment, not a lot of action naturally, but we are waiting to get this party started. 90,000 people, 147 countries. The colour, the atmosphere, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Bumped into a couple of people with a different preparation to the City2Surf. They started their City2Surf last night. They were walking out of a local establishment this morning, running to the start line and running back to get to that local, to the finish line again. Some great stories. 95 years of age is our oldest female. 90 years of age is our oldest male. 147 countries. This is what makes the City2Surf the world's largest fun run. Bondi Beach is going to be amazing. We can't wait to open it up. The team's ready. The athletes, where are you guys? Get here as soon as you can. 14 kilometres from Hyde Park to the finish line here in Bondi. Liam, Tammy, back to you. Have a great day and good luck to all those athletes.
He might be Nigel No Mates at the moment, but soon enough, Pete Murray will have 90,000 very weary athletes joining him down at that iconic Bondi Beach, which we have great conditions here today for the race. It is a beautiful sunny day. There's a light cloud cover around. It's about 8-9 degrees this morning, as you can see. For the runners, they will love these conditions, Tammy. It's set to warm up as the morning goes on. We expect it to get around that 11-12 degree mark as the majority of the field is out there on course this morning.
So Liam, let's just remind people, because of course we saw that stunning footage of Bondi Beach, beautiful flat conditions, and behind us the athletes are preparing. But last year, for 2025, it was raining, miserable, so it's great that we have this today. Not long till we get our race started. We're going to take a short break, and after the break, we'll be back live here 9 Now or on YouTube, wherever you are watching around the world for the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf.
City2Surf. One city, one beach, and a whole lot of numbers. First up, 14 kilometres from the Sydney CBD to the finish line at Bondi Beach. But it's far from flat. Across the course, runners tackle approximately 221 metres of elevation gain. And near the halfway point comes the big one, Heartbreak Hill. Almost 2 kilometres of climbing and approximately 2 kilometres of wondering why you entered. In 2026, 90,000 plus participants registered for the race. Together, they could cover a combined 1.26 million kilometres, enough to circle the Earth more than 31 times. Now let's talk speed. Steve Moneghetti's men's course record is 40 minutes and 3 seconds, set in 1991. That's an average pace of just 2 minutes, 52 seconds per kilometre, or nearly 21 kilometres per hour. Susie Power holds the women's record at 45 minutes and 8 seconds, set in 2001. That's approximately 3 minutes, 13 seconds per kilometre, 14 kilometres, 221 metres of climbing, 90,000 plus participants, and countless reasons to celebrate at Bondi. City2Surf Sydney's biggest numbers, running all the way to the beach.
And just to add to those numbers of the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026, Tammy, 7 coffees consumed on the desk this morning before we went to air. We are well and truly caffeinated. We are excited. Liam Flanagan here and Tammy Barker counting you down to the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026. The competitors getting warmed up behind us. We are live from Hyde Park in Sydney CBD for the biggest fun run in the world.
Iconic. That is a word we're using a lot today. And we're going to use a whole lot more right up until we finish our broadcast today. We have a very special announcer. She's out there amongst the crowd. Legends we talk about, all different ages. But Lyndall, we're going to check in with her. She has got some incredible participants who have continued to come back year after year in very special outfits. So Lyndall, let's check in with you and hear what you have to chat about.
Yeah, guys, I'm down here on the start line. The vibes are very high. It's a little bit chilly this morning, but the gorillas are keeping nice and warm in their outfits. We've got Rob, Paulie and Hazza, and you guys are back for your, is this 41st?
Yeah,
City2Surf?
41st year. 41st year as gorillas. And we've got all our family in the race as well, 17 of us all up. And we absolutely love this day. Fantastic.
Now, you're raising money, of course, for Chris O'Brien's Lifehouse. Tell us about your link to Chris O'Brien's Lifehouse.
So yeah, 20 years ago I had testicular cancer and it worked its way up to here in my neck, and Chris O'Brien was my surgeon. He got out the secondary tumour in my neck, and here I am 20 years later. So fantastic work. We love those guys and we raise as much as we can. It's a fantastic organisation. So.
Well, everyone loves seeing you out on the course. Everyone stops you, gets photos, gets selfies with you guys. But how do you cope in the suits on Heartbreak Hill?
We just keep going. That's the motto. Just keep going. Get to the top. Get to Bondi. And
too much fun, too much adrenaline to worry about anything else. Like, we dance with every band. We selfies with everyone that goes by. And it's tomorrow we worry about, not today.
Well, go and have fun. Have a great race, guys. They did mention to me earlier that they're loving people stopping them for selfies because it means they get a minute to breathe and to stop. So have a great race. Back to you guys.
Nice work down there, Little, on the start line. Tammy, I don't know if it was me, but I sounded like one of those gorillas went through puberty mid-interview. I think I heard a voice break. Fantastic colours and sights down here. We are live from Hyde Park in the heart of the Sydney CBD for the beginning of the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026. Now, Tammy, you and I, we love our exercise. We love our running. We love our triathlon, but we are not experts. And that is why we are welcoming in for the first time this morning our expert, our run guru. He's a run coach. He's the president of the Vipers Run Club here in Sydney. Matt Abel, good morning, Matty.
Good morning. Exciting to be here, and we can start to hear those final whistles before the elite's about to get started. So looking forward to seeing what they can produce today. It's perfect weather.
Now, Matty, you have participated in the City2Surf many times before. You're here on this side of the desk. What are you looking forward to the most when it comes to the
Yeah, I think, like as I mentioned, we got perfect running conditions today, so we should see a good tussle up front. We've had some great records over the years, but I think it might come close today, and hopefully we can get a bit of racing all the way to the finish line.
Steve Moneghetti holds the race record, 35-year-old record. Susie Power in the women's race as well. It seems that once these records get set, they're really hard to break.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Moneghetti was in his prime back in, I think it was 1991. I think it was his 4th time doing the race as well, and that's where he got the record. And I feel like it takes a couple times to get this course right because of the hills. but he was in prime conditions just recently at that point of time, won the Berlin Marathon, 2:08, perfect. But I think we got the team, the guys and girls, to tackle that today as well.
Gentlemen, a great amount of elite runners. Who are we looking out for as far as like some of those specialists in the field today for the 14 kilometres?
Well, I think obviously, Matty, Andy Buchanan is the one. He was not a late entrant into the race, but he did put his hand up. He's planning for the Sydney Marathon in a couple of weeks' time, but he's decided to enter this race only for the second time ever. This is the former national marathon record holder for Australia.
Yep.
He's one to watch this morning, Sean.
Yeah, he's coming off the back of the Gold Coast Half Marathon, where I don't think he was too happy with his race, but he wants to come back, and I think City2Surf is a title you want as a runner. It's iconic, it's one of the biggest races in the world, and to have that title to your name is a pretty good one.
Well, we just saw on screen there Robert De Castella, Lisi Ondieki, Kieran McCann, Steve Monaghetti, Liam Adams, the who's who of Australian distance running have won this race. So for Andy Buchanan to add that to his CV would be a huge moment.
Now, we caught up with Ed Goddard in the last couple of days. He is one of the favourites for today's race. Let's check in and see how Ed's feeling ahead of his big race today.
I think it's just the most iconic race in Sydney. Maybe even in the world. There's not many places where 90,000 people do the same sporting event on a Sunday morning. So I think being part of something so big is amazing. It's so scenic, it's such a great fun course, and it's very competitive as well. So it's a good race, it's a good run, and it's just something that makes you want to come back and back and back. It's one of those things, every year is different. Like some years people get away early, like when I won, I got away at 3Ks and was solo to the finish, which was great. There's other years where it's the downhill or the sprint into the finish line. So I think it's one of those things that's like you can never be too sure of yourself because the course has so many different things. It's like you could be ahead, but someone behind may run a really good downhill section. So it's, just staying light on those toes and keeping the pressure on. I think if you get ahead, you just got to head down and straight for the finish line. Yeah, I like when you come over the top of Heartbreak Hill and you start to get that little flat, little downhill section. I think it's really nice. But yeah, it's funny because there's a lot of races like Hocker where you're coming back across people doing the race earlier in the race. City2Surf, it's if you're out in front, it's pretty solo out there. So it's an interesting experience in that regard. Yeah, it's just got to be a win. Won once, which was awesome, so it'd be great to do it again.
Live from Hyde Park in the Sydney CBD, the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026 back on your screens for the first time since 2019. We have the best seats in the house for the biggest fun runner in the world. Liam Flanagan here this morning alongside Tammy Barker, your host for this fantastic race, joined by our run guru, Matt Abel. Now, Matt, let's get into looking at the elite fields that we've got out there. Starting with the men, we talked a little about Andy Buchanan.
Yep.
Who do we think might be challenging Andy come that finish line in Bondi?
Yeah, we got a great field today. We've got Tom DeCanto, a great runner. I believe he has won before, potentially. We've got Ed Goddard. He has definitely won before, and I'm sure he will go out hard and fast. And we've got Luke Hines as well. He just came second at the Sydney 10K, 28 minutes, I believe, and then a great 5K down the Wollongong recently.
Gentlemen, I want to say this. We ran into Andy Buchanan yesterday, and there is fire in his belly, wasn't there, Liam? He has his eye on this title.
Obviously, last month on the Gold Coast, not the marathon weekend he wanted there on the Gold Coast. He failed to defend his half marathon title, Matt, but he also lost the national marathon record to Haftu Stritsos. How much for him will that be driving him to add this title to his running CV?
Yeah, massively. Like, City2Surf is such an iconic race, and he definitely wants that win.
Now,
on the other side of things, Tammy, the women's field.
Yeah, really exciting. We've got quite a few different favourites for this. But, Matt, I'm going to ask you straight away for you, who is that key female that stands out for you today?
Oh, one that's not on our list that I just saw out behind us is Eloise Wellings, and I believe she's in good form at the moment, so we should see her race. But we got a whole bunch of females as well, from Holly Campbell, Annalise Van Gaan, and also Danette Sheen. These are mums as well, some of these girls, and like the fact that they can show up and be racing and also be mums is like really inspirational.
Yeah, Ainsley Van Graan obviously has said that her goal today is to get to that finish line and hold her baby girl Emmy. So the super mums that we have in distance running in this country right now, obviously you mentioned Danette and Ainsley, but add to that the likes of Jess Stenson, Jen Gregson, all these incredible women who put their professional running careers on pause to go away and start a family, and then to come back out here today, like Elsie's doing as well, mother of three. It's an incredible field. Incredible field.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, and hopefully they can work as a team to finish strong and get that record.
Or do you think that we might see some teamwork?
Oh, I'd like to see that. I think teamwork, especially in this race, if you can get to at least Dover Heights as a team, it's a good, strong finish. And we saw that in 2003 with, I think, 7 seconds between the top 5.
This is exciting. The hype is building here at Hyde Park. The 2026 Voltaren City2Surf. Stay watching YouTube 9 now. Welcome. What an incredible day to have a big race.
Good morning, welcome to Sydney and welcome to the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026. Back on your screens, live coverage for the first time since 2019, whether you're on 9 Now, YouTube, wherever you're watching us, good morning to you. We are counting down to this iconic race, the start. We are moments away. Liam Flanagan on the desk this morning alongside Tammy Barker, our run guru, Matt Abel as well. But let's get down for the official pre-race formalities.
Good morning. Once again, my name is Alan Madden, Gadigal Elder. Welcome to Gadigal land. Welcome to Gadigal country. As with all welcomes, first I'd like to acknowledge our First Nations and traditional owners of the lands that you may have come from or work upon, and pay my respects to all our Aboriginal elders, all elders past and present. Also pay my respects to all our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander brothers and sisters from whatever Aboriginal or island nation you may have come from. Welcome to Gadigal. And to all our non-Indigenous brothers and sisters here today, a very warm and sincere welcome to you to Gadigal. No matter where you've come from, whether it be across the seas, across the state or across town, once again, a very warm and sincere welcome to Gadigal. Gadigal is one of 29 clans of the Eora Nation. The Eora Nation is bounded by nature's own, the Hawkesbury River to the north, Nepean to the west, and Georgette River to the south. And in between those three mighty rivers is the Eora Nation. And in that nation, there are 29 clans. And the clan's name we're on today is Gadigal. On behalf of the Gadigal mob of the Eora Nation, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you.
And now, to perform the Australian National Anthem, please welcome Belinda Parsons.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
An outstanding rendition of our national anthem as we count down moments away from the start of the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf. We are live from Hyde Park here in the heart of Sydney CBD. Liam Flanagan, Tammy Barker, Matt Abel, our run guru this morning. We can see just behind us here in shot there, the elites. That's your red group. That's your preferred start. That is your athletes, Matty, who are expecting to run some really sharp times out here this morning.
Yeah, like we've got primo conditions today. I think we just saw on the screen it's 8 degrees, which for running, that means fast times. And we're really looking forward to seeing some of these elites tackle the record. I'm looking forward to seeing who gets to Heartbreak Hill first and then who gets to the top from there. And history says the first person to the top of Heartbreak Hill has traditionally won. So we're looking forward to seeing if that happens today. And over the last few years, when we have seen a battle, we want to see a good tussle at the top of Heartbreak.
Tammy, I think we need to put our run expert on the line, don't we?
Absolutely.
Pick the winners, Matty. Give us your predictions.
Pick the winners. I'd love to see Andy win the men's. I want to see him go hard from the start. I know Ed Goddard's going to start hard, but I want to see Andy go right through until a finish and redeem a record. Get an Australian record back.
We are just under 1 minute to race start. There are thousands of people. We know 90,000 participating today, but it's all about our elites right now. Liam, as an athlete who's done this before, how would our athletes be feeling right now before that gun goes off?
Well, Tammy, I'm usually a few waves back. I'm still trying in the Portaloo line right about now. I don't know what it's like to be on the elite start, but as you can see, we are counting down. We are 30 seconds away from the start of the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf. There you can see the elite field. Elsie Wellings, Holly Campbell, Andy Buchanan, Ed Goddard, Thomas DeCanto. Some of the names and faces we expect to see taking the tape. Counting you down. Racing in the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf. Look at that field. Away they go. And there's our hero runner. There's one every year, Matty. Someone who wants his moment or her moment in the sun, races the elite field down towards King's Cross. They're no chance of winning the actual race, but they want that photo, they want that hero shot.
I think it's pretty iconic, and he's going out hard. He wants that shot. There's nothing better than looking back onto Hyde Park, William Street. We've just got that iconic photo, but he's going all out.
This is fantastic. Of course, we do have the elite race starting, but we've also got the preferred and the red start at the same time. This is goosebumps moments.
Like he has popped already, Tammy. He has popped already. Our hero runner who's taken and got the photo. He has already lost it. I expect the elite field to go past him momentarily, but he'll have that photo up on the pool room forever, Matty.
Definitely, and we're starting to see that elite field start to break out now with Andy Buchanan and Ed Goddard taking the front there. It'll be good to see how they handle these first little hills through into Darlinghurst and then into Double Bay. It's quite a tough start. It isn't a flat race, this one.
So as for people who are on screen, that's Andy Buchanan in the navy blue on the right-hand side of your screen. Ed Goddard in the fluoro colours and the black shorts on the left. And in the middle, that's Luke Hinz. He is this 23-year-old runner out of Wollongong who's got some serious short speed about him.
Definitely. He just did a very fast 5K down in Wollongong not so long ago, and second place at the Sydney 10K where the record was broken as well. So 28 minutes and some change, but yeah, in good form.
Tammy, the other name that's in the men's field as well, Ned Brockman.
Absolutely. Ned was a late addition. He's a really well-named, very respected runner here in Australia, doing incredible things for charities. But how lucky are we that we had Ned register to be a part of this iconic event?
Even the great Ned Brockman sees what an experience the City2Surf, the Voltaren City2Surf can be. Ned's aiming for a sub 45, so no slouch. He's aiming for a sharp time this morning as we start to see some of the other waves make their way to the start line, Tammy.
What I'm loving about this, guys, when we got that split screen, we can see our men's elite race right there at the front, but we also saw what's happening with our large participation was exciting, and it's really easy for people to kind of understand, to see those undulating sections of our course with our course overview. Exciting things happening right here in Hyde Park, but yep, that course, 14 kilometres here in Sydney, is really starting to heat up.
Our elite men's field already hitting the tunnel. A unique experience in one of these races to actually run underground. I know there's probably some revellers who, after a night out in King's Cross, have thought about taking on the tunnel back in the day, but our runners get to run through it legally this morning.
Yeah, and there's two options. You can go through the tunnel, and one is slightly faster than the other, and it's really important you get that right, especially in the elite field, but they're going through there smoothly, looking like they've got a really good pace. I hope this front group can hang together and get a really solid finish, but they're all hustling and tussling a little bit there.
We can see our top five there on screen of the men's elite race. Andy Buchanan out in front, Ed Goddard off his right shoulder, Luke Hinz behind them. And then that's Thomas DeCanto, the 40-year-old podiatrist who's been a podium finisher here twice, looking to add a Voltaren City2Surf win. And then Will Myson in fifth spot there, a local runner as part of the Runners in the Dark Run Club that operates out of Bondi.
Gentlemen, just a quick one. When it comes to race tactics, we're this far into our race now. Are the athletes, like, are they thinking about their tactics already at this point?
Yeah, definitely. They're wanting to try and break other runners as much as possible and get into their head. I know Ed loves to run hard and run hard from the front, so he's going to be wanting to push it. But you also start to get a little bit nervous. Why are these guys still on my shoulder, and how can I start to break them? But it's looking good up the front, and we can also see some of those guys in the fancy dress. I forget those brothers' names, but they're phenomenal runners.
Mario and Luigi are their names, Matty. We are about to see behind us, though, the green wave, Tammy. Prepare for the pyros.
There it is. We have a race start for our green wave now. We've mentioned it before, but 90,000 people participating, athletes participating here today. It is interesting to see the difference between that first three waves that kicked off at 7:35 to this one now at 7:40.
What sort of a time are the green wave runners looking the run, Matty? Obviously, you've got your real fast types who've already got underway up the front in the red group. What about the runners here in the green group that have just got underway?
I reckon they're probably around the 60-minute mark. A lot of them would be trying to break 60 minutes. But other than that, they're probably looking at around about the 75-minute to 90-minute mark, which is phenomenal on this type of course for an everyday runner.
Would you describe anybody capable of running under 60 minutes on this course as being a good runner?
Phenomenal runner.
Well, thank you very much, Matty.
60 minutes is a good time.
Let's just rewind. What year did you race this event, Liam?
It was in 2016, Tammy. That was, I managed to join the sub 60 club, and I haven't run it since. But I have done some research on our man, Matt, on the desk. His goal, what year was it? To be in the top 100 finishes?
Top 100 was the goal.
Top 100 finishes. You came 93rd, so you just snuck in there with a time of 48 minutes and 33 seconds.
Happy with that, very happy. But looks like we're getting a bit of the front field breaking up with Andy Buchanan out there in the front, blue singlet. And the field break up a little bit as we come through right now into Double Bay. So a slight hill up through here. It'll flatten out downhill. And maybe we might see a little bit break up.
We're going to throw now to our elite female leader. Looking very, very snazzy there in her race kit.
So this is Holly Campbell.
Yeah. Phenomenal runner. I think she did, I can't remember the exactly time she did in a 10K recently over in the US, but has a lot of speed in her legs.
And the hill running as well for Holly, represented Australia at the World Cross Country Championships earlier this year. First time running this race as an elite. She's run it before as a teenager, but what'll be interesting to see play out with Holly, Tammy, is that her twin sister, Paige, actually finished second in this race in 2024. So can twin Holly go one better in 2026?
That's an interesting little stat. Now, gentlemen, let's just have a moment for Holly. She looks so at ease, shoulders back. It almost looks like she's got a smile on her face. Is this the kind of athlete that Holly is? This is what we see with her when she runs?
Definitely, and putting a smile on your face actually helps with your performance as well, massively. So good to see her with a smile on her face, and she'll be running with some of those sub-elite men that are running around the 45, 46-minute mark, which will help push her along. So hopefully there's a good group for her to work with, and she looks like she's in a really good headspace there and just calm, collected, and pulling through the crowd.
Holly Campbell on our shot, seemingly leading the women's elite race on her own. She's got some of the men's field running with her at the moment, so she'll be able to work with some of those runners. Hopefully they can help tow her up the hill, but at the moment, the Voltaren City2Surf women's elite race appears to be a race in one. No doubt there'll be some challenges, and I guess, Matty, that's tough for Holly because whereas in the men's race we can see Andy and Ed and Luke all working together, but Holly's having to do this on her own.
Yeah, she's going to have a little bit of head noise going on, wondering where the next female is, but she's looking confident there. And the good thing is she's got some of those sub-elite males around her to work and hold that pace, which will help her get through. But it looks like the men's field up the front is starting to break up as they come into Double Bay now. It starts to flatten out, but they've got one hill before they come into Rose Bay and the big climb. So around about 4K, I think, into the race now.
So we've ticked off just over 9 minutes into our elite group race. I just want to say this, the inspiration that we get watching this, the inspiration from the elite athletes and all of those other participations, whether or not you're watching here in Australia or around the world, because we know we have so many internationals, and maybe you are a family member watching them. There is so much that inspires me watching this to make me think, oh, should I do this next year?
Well, no, you can't, because we need you here on the desk, Tammy. But for everybody else at home who hasn't ever raced this race before, or maybe you decided to take a year off, you need to be back here in 2027. We can just see, Matty, there, the shot of our elite field. Andy Buchanan has started to really separate himself. We can see just in the back shot Luke Hintz and Ed Goddard. He's starting to put some serious distance into them. Andy Buchanan, the former national marathon record holder, he wants this title. He said, I bumped into him in the lift this morning, and he said, you're going to be talking about me a bit this morning. He wants this race.
He's gone out hard and he's going to want this. And as we spoke about before, it's generally speaking, history has said the first person to the top of Heartbreak Hill has won the race. So I believe he's putting in a hard yards now to break up the field, get in that position. So he's got an opportunity to take this win all the way home. But the boys aren't too far behind him. Luke Hines as well as Ed Goddard. It looks like Tom DeCanto's maybe dropped off the back a little bit there, but it'll be interesting to see the next couple K what does happen.
Tammy, you mentioned the feeling of watching these races and being inspired. Andy is that story. Andy's mum and dad, Jenny and Alan, have completed the original 6 major marathon, attending these sort of road races, coming on marathons and these road races throughout Australia, and watch mum and dad take these on, and now he's out here as a 35-year-old doing this exact same thing.
That is the beauty of this sport, right? Anyone can start running, but how you change throughout the years. We love watching Andy race all around the world. He's not only an exceptional athlete, but he's a great human being, and there's so much inspiration in that, Liam.
So at this stage, Andy Buchanan is putting in a big shift. We're only 12 minutes into the race, Maddie, and obviously this for the elite field, we're looking at low 40-minute time, so we are still in the first quarter of this race, really. A lot to play out.
Yeah, we're in a really good, I think he's just ahead of race record pace right now. I've just got a few numbers here in front of me coming through Double Bay in 15:58, and we're looking to be well ahead of that. So he's putting in a big shift right now, and so is the women's as well. We've got Holly there working in that group. That's going to be really important for her to work with that group, get into a nice tight pack and hold her through until we get to the top of Heartbreak Hill.
Well, the action is heating up right here at Hyde Park in Sydney CBD. We're going to check in with Lyndall. She's amongst the action with another great chat with some of our participants down there.
Yeah, guys, we spoke to the gorillas before, and now I found the bananas. We've got Paul and Max, the father and son duo. You're in the purple group. You're getting ready. You're about to head off. Now, how many of these have you actually done?
I've done 10 of these.
What about you, Max?
I've done 1.
Okay, and your dad's making you wear a banana costume, which is...
He's making me wear the banana costume.
It was your idea. Why have you come up with bananas?
Oh, I thought it'd just be fun to do.
All right, show everyone your signs on your back as well that you've got. I must be bananas doing this. Yes, I think you are bananas running in this costume. And I said it to the gorillas. I don't know how you're going to get up Heartbreak Hill in this, but good luck.
I don't know how we're going to get past the gorillas.
They'll be there to cheer you on. Have a great race. I'll get out of your way, do some stretching, and let's go.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lyndall. Paul and Max there. You'd be worried if it starts to turn brown. It means they've been out there for too long. If Paul and Max in the banana suit starts to turn brown. We've still got our main shot on the men's elite race at the moment because, Matt, Andy Buchanan, the shift he's putting in right now, he is not only giving the race a crack, he might be nudging the record.
Yeah, just looking at a few stats right now. Coming into Rose Bay, we want to be just on the 19-minute mark, and we're looking into 14 minutes. I reckon he's going to get to that Rose Bay, which we'll see a few shops in the background shortly, but this is one of the iconic parts of the City2Surf, running through Rose Bay, water backdrop. I mean, you can't get a much more scenic run than the City2Surf.
Let's have a moment for... now, is this Luigi or Mario?
This is Mario.
Right, okay, Mario. This guy, his stride, his pace, he looks on fire in that outfit.
Yeah, Mario going well, but right now, the Voltaren City2Surf, the men's race is all about this man on your screen, Andy Buchanan, the 35-year-old from Bendigo. A couple of weeks back on the Gold Coast, he lost his half marathon title and he lost his national marathon record to Hatsu Stritsos. He is back here on the streets of Sydney looking to add an iconic title to his running CV.
Yeah, but let's have a little moment. Holly is still leading our female race. This smile on her face, maybe that's just what she looks like, but she is strong, she is steady, and no doubt she'll be very happy sitting in the lead at this point, 15 minutes into her race.
Yeah, definitely. She's just going to be calm, cool and collected right now, and this is a part of the race where you need to be starting to get the breathing under control. You've just done a few hills. It's nice and flat, but we got that big hill coming up, Heartbreak Hill. It's around about a mile long, so 1.6 kilometers, and you want to get your body into a good position to be able to tackle that hill. And we can start to see some of the other females in that shot right now, which are in around second and third place.
We are live from Hyde Park in the Sydney CBD, but we are ready to get underway with the next wave start. You'll see a wave of runners flood the start line. And away they go to fireworks and banging tunes. The next wave of runners get underway in the Voltaren City2Surf.
I tell you what, there would be nerves around. The event delivery is absolutely extraordinary here, 90,000 participants, but the nerves of our athletes as they start, the atmosphere is building, the goosebumps are around. What a day to be running 14 Ks right here from Hyde Park down there through to Bondi Beach.
Incredible shots, incredible coverage. See our bananas, Paul and Max underway there. And there's Holly Campbell leading our women's elite race at the moment. She's in the best form of all the contenders this morning, Matt, coming into the women's race. We know Elsie Welling's there, the three-time Olympian, is obviously out on course. She's coming back from injury, but Holly Campbell, red hot form coming into this morning's race.
Yeah, she's flying and she's got a good lead for the females right now. But it'll be interesting to see if she's going to keep giving this a good nudge, even though she's got a bit of a gap here, and see if she can tackle that record. I believe we got perfect conditions here. 8 degrees on the start line. I'm shivering. It's cold. I think my quads are getting a workout by just trying to keep them still. But we're about to come into Rose Bay now, where the shops are, and we'll have a good indication of where we're sitting on that record, especially for the men's field. But she's got a nice little group around her that she's going to work on. We'll start to see that break up a little bit on the hill, but it looks like Andy is now tackling Heartbreak Hill. He was at the bottom of that, and definitely well above record pace from my understanding. The stats that we got here, he's looking in top tier condition.
See Andy on our screen there. We'll get a shot in the background here. That's Luke in the background. That's Luke Hines, the 23-year-old from Wollongong, in second place. So it looks as though Ed Goddard, a previous winner of the race, one of the contenders for today, has dropped off. But what we'll see from Andy over the next kilometre and a half, Matty, is where the race is going to be decided. Has he spent too much energy through the first 7 Ks of this race? What does he have left to offer up this grueling climb?
Totally. So he's coming off the back of still a very good half marathon, and he's in a good position. He's going to be pushing this. He's at 2:44 average pace right now, and Steve Monteghetti's record pace was 2:52. That's going to slow down a little bit as we go up Heartbreak Hill, but we've got a very strong finish where he's going to be able to get that pace right down. So be interesting to see how he goes through this next kilometre he's got till he reaches the top.
Gentlemen, this might be a silly question, but I want to ask it. In the history of this race, like we're watching Andy now with such a strong lead between him and second place, have we seen a lot of those lead athletes blow up?
Not necessarily in this race. We haven't really seen it. These guys are strong elite runners. They know exactly what they're going to be doing. So I would be surprised to see if he does blow up, but you know, he's coming off the back of a really good half marathon, phenomenal marathon runner as well. He's got a big engine, so I'd see him be pushing through.
For an athlete like Luke, who currently sits in second position, you can see the men standing there on your left-hand side. All the big names, Buchanan, Hintz, Goddard, Phillips, DeCanto. For someone like Luke, this 23-year-old, still very in the early stages of his running career, what's his mindset got to be with Andy, the distance that he is ahead?
Well, this is where Andy's going to have a little bit more race experience. He knows how to race. So Luke just needs to settle in a little bit here and not use too many chips going up this hill. He's going to be working hard, but he wants to save some for a strong finish where, if the case, Andy does blow up, which I highly doubt it, he may. Luke wants to have something in the back pocket to be able to push hard, because once you get up to Dudley Park, which we'll see a bit later in the race, you've got about 4 to 5K left, and that's where you can push really hard to the finish line.
We have just had an update, and am I correct in saying currently Andy is sitting 30 seconds under the race record held by Motters back in 1991?
Wow.
He's putting it on the line. He wants this, and it's good to see.
See Holly Campbell there on screen at the moment. She leads our elite women's field, and as yet we can't see second place on screen. So Holly Campbell doing it in fine fashion at the moment, and Matt, again, her time looks really strong. She's got that smile across her face. Looks like we've got Kate Spencer in second, Martina Connor third. So it really is Holly's race to lose at the moment.
Totally. She's got 45 seconds on second place. Now, as we spoke about, you can still use a lot of your energy in the first half of this race. So she wants to be nice and controlled up this heartbreak hill, get to the top and then start to kick up a gear. The good thing with Holly is she's got that speed in the background. She's got a cross-country background, and she's also got a very fast 10K over in the US not that long ago. So she'll be able to kick in the back end. But if we look at Andy as well, he's just coming to the top of Heartbreak Hill now. It starts to flatten out and he'll start to kick up a gear again. So we're looking great. Girls, I don't know where we're at in terms of the record, but like we've spoken about a lot this morning, it's perfect conditions, no wind, low temperature. Heart rate's going to be a lot lower than what it would be on a hotter day, and she's going to be able to kick up a gear.
So the times to keep an eye out for Holly, the women's race record is 45.08, set by Susie Power in 2001. So that's a 25-year-old race record that Holly will be chasing this morning in these beautiful conditions, as Maddie's been talking about. It looks as though she might be slightly behind record pace at the moment. So Holly Campbell just outside Susie Power's 2001 race record. The other time that Holly will be keeping an eye on is that of her twin sister Paige. Now, Paige finished runner-up in this race in 2024. So there's bragging rights on the line within the family with Paige and her twin sister Holly, who leads the women's race right now.
I wonder what that competitive nature is before a race like that. Would Paige have checked in with Holly and said, all right, sister, we know you're racing tomorrow. How are you feeling? This is my record. How are you going to get close to it?
Yeah, she's obviously done the race, so she's going to have all the insider information, when to push, when to hold back, especially going through Dover Heights where they're just about to go through. You know, Andy up in the lead is just at the top of Vaucluse now, but the next section of the race is one that catches out a lot of runners. There's a slight downhill, slight uphill, slight downhill, slight uphill. So having course knowledge and having a sister that's obviously come second before, you can gather that information and take that and know when to push and when not to push, when to have your nutrition, etc.
The smile still spread all over Holly Campbell's face there. With the time we are keeping an eye out for Holly Campbell in the women's race, the race record is a 45.08 set by Susie Power in 2001. Paige Campbell, Holly's twin, who finished runner-up in this race in 2024, ran a 47.03. So if Holly can't nab the race record, her eyes will be turned to the Campbell family record.
Yes.
See if she can pip twin sister as we see the men's elite field. Andy Buchanan looks to have crested Heartbreak Hill. What's the saying, Matty? If you win Heartbreak, you go on to win the race.
You're in a good position and he's already at the top, so he's coming around Vaucluse now. He's going to make a hard right now, where he's going to go around, and there's a famous bakery just there. Oh, love it, the Grumpy Baker.
Yes.
He's going to turn hard right here around the roundabout, and then it's quite flat and downhill now. So he's going to have a little look over his shoulder as he did around there, just to see where the next runner is, and we believe it's Luke Hines behind him. But right now he's going to go past the cemetery, downhill, and he's going to be able to kick up a gear for the next, I think it's around 1.5k of downhill right now, where he'll be able to kick up a gear and start to push it a little bit harder.
So Tammy, unless there's a catastrophe for Andy Buchanan, now it's about him and the clock. We believe at this point that Andy Buchanan is under race record pace. The Steve Monaghetti record set all the way back in 1991. This is a record with the course changes over the years people thought would never be broken.
And also, let's talk about the update in innovation in shoes and apparel and so forth. Could the record be broken today, guys?
I think we're in a good position for that record to be broken. He's looking in great shape. It's a lot of downhill to come with. He's done majority of the hills. There's one more hill left for him to go. But like you mentioned, new technology, the shoes, carbon plated shoes, new technology in the foam that they're using. I believe Andy's running in a carbon plated shoe here. He's going to be working really hard, and that's going to help him push towards the finish line. But same with nutrition as well. I mean, it just shows how good Steve Monaghetti was back then. Non-carbon plated shoes, nutrition was probably nothing. It's probably taboo to have nutrition. And yeah, carb loading probably wasn't much of a thing back then.
As you can see on your screen there, Andy Buchanan, 9.5 kilometres through this 14-kilometre course. He's 2/3 of the way home. As the camera shot shows, we can't see second place in the men's field right now. We believe it's Luke Hines. Ed Goddard was in third as we got to the beginning of Heartbreak Hill, but right now our moto camera is all about the race leader, Andy Buchanan, and he's racing the clock. Steve Monaghetti is the man in his sights, Tammy.
Yeah, this is incredible. So yeah, you're right. He has Steve Monaghetti from all the way back in 91 in his sights, but we just saw our second place male come around that corner. Guys, this is exciting right here in Sydney. There's just so much going on.
Yeah, this is the downhill section I was talking about earlier on. It's a bit where you can get a lot of speed up coming through Dover Heights. He's about to make a hard right-hand turn here, and then we've got a little bit of uphill to the top of Dudley Park, Dudley Reserve, which I think is another iconic part of the course. You look out over the Harbour Bridge, you can see the whole city. All runners are going to love this, and here we see Ed Goddard, who's in third place right now and pushing the pace. So they've obviously spread out quite a lot in this first section of the race.
Ed Goddard, a previous winner of the City2Surf. It does actually speak to just how well Andy Buchanan is running this morning when he's got a previous winner of this race and he's gapped him. Andy Buchanan is putting on something of a distance, running clinic this morning here in the Voltaren City2Surf live coverage. We're still back in Hyde Park on the desk where another wave is underway. Thousands, tens of thousands of athletes continue to pour across the start line. Andy Buchanan, though, approaching Bondi. He is almost 10 kilometres through the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026. I can't wipe the smile off my face. I'm so excited for what we're about to witness over the next 4 kilometres. A 35-year-old race record could be broken.
This is extraordinary. Let's just go back and give some love to second place. Luke Hines, we can look in the distance depending on when that shot goes. But Luke was in second, Ed Goddard in third. But as we mentioned before, so many different wave starts right up until 9:27 here at Hyde Park.
Luke is a young runner. He's still only 23 years of age, but with an incredible background in the sport and a really good top-end speed over the shorter distances.
Definitely. He's just recently done a very strong 5K, very strong 10K, the Sydney 10K. Second place, 28 minutes, which is absolutely flying. But we can see here Andy is putting in a strong finish. This is the last hill he's going up right now, which we can see on our screen is the last hill. Then he's going to come past the famous Dudley Park Reserve on his right-hand side. A phenomenal picture of the city he'll have. But this is the last hill. It's all downhill from here.
So talk to us about what Andy would be feeling right now in his legs, because we are seeing for the first time this morning some grimace, some effort being expressed by Andy as he cuts over that hill.
Yeah, so he's going to be hurting a lot right now. He's putting in a lot of effort. He's been working by himself for at least since 2K. So I believe we're well ahead of race record at the moment, I believe. His pace may have dropped a little bit on those hills, but we should be able to see him still ahead of that race record pace as we come up to here at Dudley Park on the left-hand side of the screen.
Well, we're just getting an update coming through. You'll be able to see on the bottom of the screen, Andy Buchanan, he is going to need to absolutely fly through these last 4 kilometres because he's actually dropped behind the course record pace, Tammy.
Yeah, this is disappointing a little bit. Sorry to jump into you, Matt, because I know he would want that record, but do we still have a chance for him in those last few kilometres?
I wonder if he knows if he's on record pace, because if he knows he's in that window, he'll push that little bit harder, and I hope he does. But we're down now to the last hill is done. It's flat, it's downhill. He'll be able to pick up that pace a lot. He'll be able to get that pace right down as we come into Campbell Parade later on in the race.
We're seeing there, first, second and third in the men's race right now, Andy Buchanan out 20 seconds ahead of Luke Kintz in second place, the 23-year-old from Wollongong. Ed Goddard, the previous winner, rounding out the top 3 at the moment. Still kilometres to run here. This race isn't over by any means. Can Andy Buchanan find another gear to go to? He was ahead of race record pace, that 35-year-old record of Steve Moneghetti's set in 1991. Andy's now dropped behind Steve's record, and it just, I guess, speaks to the amazing athlete that in his prime Steve Moneghetti was and still is to this day.
Phenomenal. And I believe he came off a 2:08 Berlin Marathon, or it was just slightly after City2Surf back in 1991, and he was in his prime then. Phenomenal runner, and it just shows the accolades of those runners, as well as Di Costello back then as well. You know, phenomenal group.
Let's take a little moment. Holly is still leading by a long way. Our elite female race looking strong as she heads towards Bondi Beach with our finish line. Gentlemen, whereabouts is Holly at this point?
Yeah, so Holly is just, from my understanding, coming through Dover Heights right now. She's got one more hill to come up. Yep, exactly, yep. She's about to take a left-hand turn right now, and then she's got her last hill coming up to that Dudley Reserve. So she's in a really good position, slide uphill. She's probably got about, I would say, around 1 kilometre left of uphill, and then it's all downhill to the finish line from there. But she's breaking away from that men's pack that she had and is running on her own. So it'd be interesting to see how she can hold on these last few Ks, but that smile is starting to wince a little bit there.
It looks like it's turning into a little nibble on the tongue.
Or a grimace.
Little grimace.
Biting down, she's rounding that
so this
turn.
is that last hill. She's going to turn right in about a few metres here. Last hill, and then she's all downhill. And that's where you just need a grip down, bite the tongue, and hold on for as long as you can to that finish line. And to be honest, the finish line is a bit of a tricky one from previous, because that finish line's changed over the years. When Steve Moneghetti broke the record, it's a slightly different finish. Now they go up Campbell Parade, but make a big U-turn and then come into the car park there. But that uphill at Campbell Parade breaks a lot of people.
We're just seeing alongside Holly there on the screen, it looks like it might be Ainsley Van Graan in second place in the women's race. Ainsley coming back from becoming a mum for the first time. Her goal for the race today, as well as obviously performing well, she said she just wants to get to that finish line and hold her daughter Emmy. That's the goal out of today, Tammy.
What an inspiration. You know, everyone has their own personal why they race, why they get to that start line, what gets them to that finish line. That'll be a beautiful moment. Hopefully we can capture that on screen. Exciting times here behind us. There are more wave starts at Hyde Park. It is the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf, 56 years of this great race, and we're so proud, so grateful with so many athletes participating here today. Liam?
It is an incredible sight. We're live from Hyde Park in the CBD, the centre of Sydney. As we look behind us for a moment from the desk, still tens of thousands of athletes getting ready to cross the line and begin their Voltaren City2Surf for 2026. Holly Campbell on screen, as we can see, she's about 45 seconds behind the women's race record set by Susie Power back in 2001, a 25-year race record. We might have to see something special out of Holly in the final 4Ks or so, but the other battle for Holly this morning that we are keeping an eye on, of course, is bragging rights in the Campbell household. Her twin sister Paige was the runner-up in this race in 2024, and if Holly can't take the race record, does she get the household bragging rights?
Totally, totally, and it's going to be a strong finish for her. But I think, as you mentioned there, Tammy, what an inspiration about a lot of these females in the elite field. You know, new mums of 3, I believe, a few of them, but also the challenges females have as female runners that males don't have. Menstrual cycles, how that affects their racing, their performance, and how they feel, I think is something that's definitely worthwhile highlighting, because men, I believe, as a run coach, have it much easier than females. We don't have to think about those things and how it affects your performance.
You've just heard that sound you heard, Tammy, was women on the couches around the country sitting up and applauding Matt Hable.
Absolutely. Let's take a moment and run through these race splits for our elite females. Matt, this is exciting. We see Holly Campbell in first, Kate Spencer, and then Stacey Winter, and Martina is there sitting in 4th place.
Okay, so the women's race looks to be a race in one. What can Holly Campbell do from a time perspective? We'll cut back to our men's race as Andy Buchanan, the race leader, rounds the North Bondi Golf Course.
Very close to that finish. He's about to come down into that final sector of the Bondi Military Road we're on right now, and he's got a lot of pace down here. We're going to go past these little shops here where a lot of the cafes are, and the crowd will be cheering, and he will be getting goosebumps and a lot of energy from the crowd as he gets closer into Bondi Beach. But we're only moments away to seeing the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf winner across the line.
After fighting gravity up Heartbreak Hill, this is where it's on your side. The descent down into Bondi. You saw him have a sneaky little look over his left shoulder there. That's because he can see Bondi Beach. He sighted the ocean. He sighted that iconic spot here in Sydney. We put it on postcards all around the world for a reason. And Andy Buchanan is racing downhill. He's 13.5 Ks. Moments away from taking his first ever Voltaren City2Surf.
Come on, Andy.
I've got goosebumps. This is exciting stuff, especially for Andy after the last few weeks. But there's that false hill that I was talking about before going up Campbell Parade. You think it's flat when you're running it just on a normal 5K, but when you're 13.5 Ks into running hard, it's a big uphill. But it looks like the record may have gone, and Steve Monteghetti's record may live on. It looked like he was running at an average pace of 2:58, where the record's around about 2:52 pace. So let's see how he can finish strong. But also, you know, we've got Holly there, nearly at the bottom of Military Road as well to come into that
Another wave
line.
start gets underway behind us. We're going to stick with Andy Buchanan here. 38 minutes and some change into his 2026 Voltaren City2Surf. The winners list of this race is the who's who of Australian distance running. The icons like Di Castella, Moneghetti, Craig Mottram's a former winner of this race, and then the marathon kings like Liam Adams, Lee Troop, and Michael Shelley.
He's going to have a U-turn here, so this is where he's about to turn back, and he'll be able to see where second place is, and this is where he'll make a decision. Do I need to finish strong and still tackle that record, or do I just enjoy this last section of the race and take it in and be like, you know what, I'm now a City2Surf winner. I'm part of history.
Guys, we've talked a lot about Mona's record 40.03, but let's have a little moment. 2025, first place Isaac Hine. He did a 40.33. You know, would Andy have that on his mind, trying to kind of beat that 25 stat?
I certainly think now, as Maddie called, we're seeing an incredible shot there. That's the finish line down in Bondi. Our man Pete Murray will be down there to take an interview with Andy once he does cross the tape. An incredible sight, perfect conditions for all our 90,000 competitors, but right now it is all about Andy Buchanan, who will be taking the tape, will be crowned the winner, the king of the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026. He's in the finishing shoot, Andy Buchanan. He lost his Gold Coast half marathon title a few weeks back. And on the same weekend, he lost his Australian national marathon record. It was a dirty weekend on the Gold Coast for Andy Buchanan, but the boy from Bendigo is set to bounce back in the best way possible.
100 metres to go. 100 metres to go. Last turn.
What a
Andy
shot.
Buchanan, the boy from Bendigo, 35 years of age, is about to add a Voltaren City2Surf win to his glittering running CV. The tape goes up, and Andy Buchanan is the winner of the Voltaren City2Surf men's race for 2026. He stops the watch.
I didn't
He
even
breathes
see
a
him
sigh
look
of
at his watch
relief.
the whole time. He's just run to feel. He's pushed hard, and he's well in front of second place there. And what a run!
What a professional as well. He takes the finish line tape back to our athlete services team. Let's just read his body language now.
Doesn't even look like he's run.
Well, we've got the official time in. Andy Buchanan, a 40.27. So he did go faster than Isaac Hine in 2025, but he was still 25 seconds back on that race record from Steve Monaghetti. Luke Hintz has crossed the line, the 23-year-old from Wollongong, his best ever performance in a City2Surf. Well done, Luke. And we do have our third place podium coming across in the men's race, but we'll cut to Holly Campbell, Maddie, our women's race leader, as she descends past the golf course there in North Bondi.
Yeah, so she's coming hard down Military Road. She's about to pass the Bondi Golf Club, I believe, there, North Bondi Golf Club there on the left-hand side. It's basically the last part of the downhill. She'll come through the shops. The crowd will be going wild for the first female. I always find that first female gets a lot of attention, a lot of kind of cheering along, and she'll be just trying to thrive off that to get her through the last 5 minutes of this race. She's looking in great form, and second place, I believe she's got around about 40 seconds maybe on top of that. So we'll see how we go with Holly, but she looks like she's got this in the bag. She just needs to hold it together now and just grip it and run as hard as she can.
We can see those race splits. Our first, second and third males here for the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf. Andy Buchanan, Luke Hintz and Ed Goddard. What a race.
Phenomenal race there in the males, and Andy just wanted this, I believe, as much as he can. But we'll stick here with the females as Holly's coming down to that last part. She will know she's got this. She just needs to hang on here. You see Bondi Beach, the goosebumps will start to feel in her running. She just needs to really keep that momentum going down the hill. But as I mentioned, in the men's, there's that slide uphill going up Campbell Parade, which does catch you. We've seen a few in that in the men's mid-pack around there, struggling up that hill. But we'll see how we go in these final meters.
Holly Campbell, the 30-year-old, came into this morning's race in red-hot form. She won the Harbour 10 a couple of weeks back in a time of 32.39, so the elite speed was there. This is her first time running the Voltaren City2Surf as an elite racer, and she's going to take the tape. She's going to go one better than twin sister Paige did in 2024, so she'll have bragging rights at home. Can she beat the time that Paige did? Paige ran a 47.03. We are keeping an eye on the clock for Holly as that grimace starts to return to a smile. She's got one U-turn left to go, Maddie, and she's just going to be soaking this moment in.
Yeah, she's going to turn a hard left here, which is always quite difficult when you got jelly legs from running downhill, but also 13.5 kilometres of hard running. But she'll get a good indication of where second place is behind her. And again, just like Andy had, do you push that little bit, or do you just start to enjoy that last few metres and be like, I'm going to be a City2Surf champion?
Slight little turn of the head there. It does look like Holly is enjoying it. She is just so poised. What a moment for her. Her first elite race, as you said, Liam. This is her moment to shine, and it's just great. It really does give you those good feelings being in our position watching this right now.
Oh, it's a real
represented her country at the World Cross Country Championships earlier this year, Maddie. Came 44th at that competition.
She's got the speed in her legs. As you mentioned before, winner was it of the Sydney 10K not that long ago. So she's got the speed in her legs. If she has to kick, she'll be able to do that. But she'll turn this corner now and be able to see where second place is, and how she'll then decide how does she want to tackle these final meters as she comes into the finisher's chute.
What a shot.
Beautiful shots of Bondi,
Isn't it?
Tammy.
It's great to see more of our spectators in that area. We know that's going to be absolutely jam-packed later when majority of our athletes are down there, but this is Holly's moment to shine. Look at us, we're standing here at Hyde Park. People are watching from all around the world on YouTube or here in Australia on 9 Now. Right there, this iconic destination and postcode of Bondi Beach.
Yeah, and I hope some of these people that are just starting now, I remember as a kid running City2Surf, watching the finisher come across the finish line when I hadn't even started. So we've got plenty coming across the finish line now, but as we go to that drone shottage now, we should start to see Holly Campbell come into the finish line chute and take the honours of being the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf winner.
The women's field, it was an open field. We knew coming into this race, there wasn't necessarily a standout favourite. The likes of Elsie Wellings, Ainsley Van Graan, Danette Sheehan, Ruby Madden, Jennifer Clancy. It was a high-quality field. We weren't sure who was going to jump out of that pack and declare themselves the winner. But in 2026, as Holly Campbell salutes the crowd, she lifts the sunglasses.
Oh, goosebumps. I've got goosebumps. This is amazing.
An
Phenomenal
amazing
finish.
moment for the 30-year-old. Her first time racing in the elite field. And she crosses the finish line in first position. Holly Campbell is the queen of the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026. An amazing performance from Holly. She checks the watch as well. Most of the 90,000 who finished today will cross the line and just breathe a sigh of relief. But these elites, they make sure they check the watch, stop the watch. 46.35, Tammy.
45.08 was our course record from 2001. Susie Power, Liam, wow.
But I can confirm at 46.35.
Did she beat her sister?
She has run 28 seconds faster than twin sister Paige did in 2024. So not only does she get the tape today as the winner of the race, she also gets bragging rights at home in the Campbell household.
Imagine having a sister as, you know, to train with. What a family. So good to see that happening, and we should start to see second place in the females coming through now, and hopefully we can get a good visual shot here as they come down into the final meters of Bondi.
We're starting to see more and more finishes, and this looks like our second place finisher in the women's elite field. That might be third place, in fact. Ainsley Van Graan, we know, was up there. It was a wide open field in the women's race.
Looks like second, third, and fourth might be in a bit of a battle there, which could be interesting to see. But it looked like second place was in a black. Hopefully we should start to see him come through now.
And these runners you're seeing on screen that are coming down into Bondi to this iconic finish of the Voltaren City2Surf. Maddie, talk to us about their time, because all these runners are running sub 50 minutes for this 14K race.
Yeah, they're flying along. These are top 100 runners right now. They've put in a big shift, and we should be able to see some of them finishing along strong, but hopefully we can get into that camera shot of second and third female coming through shortly.
I think that might have been Jennifer Clancy just rounding the U-turn there.
Oh,
maybe this is second place coming through. We don't have a shot of the second and third yet, but hopefully we'll get a finish line shot. Phenomenal running by all these females.
Second, third and fourth, perhaps, what we've seen right there.
Might be a sprint finish on second, third and fourth here. You can just see the head start to roll back as we have second place in the women's elite field, crossing the line, taking the tape. Holly Campbell was our winner for 2026 in the Voltaren City2Surf.
Second and third.
Second and third, moments behind one another. Let's go down to our man at Bondi Beach, Pete Murray, on the finish line with our champion of the men's race field, Andy Buchanan.
Well, Thank you, team. We are down here with none other than our 2026 champion, Voltaren City2Surf, Andy Buchanan. Congratulations, the champion.
Thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed that run. It was good fun. Good to be back here after many years. And yeah, Sydney put on a show this morning.
Mate, talk about your race. I mean, the start, 90,000 people. You're number one. Incredible. But the support you were talking before, up Heartbreak Hill, they were pushing you up that hill. And over the top, go for the record, go for the record. And you were so close.
Yeah, there was a lot of support out there. But being the first runner, I think you surprise a lot of people. They don't see you coming and they're kind of just chilling. And then all of a sudden you're on them. So, no, they were obviously cheering me on, wanting me to get that record. And yeah, I missed it by a fair bit this year, but I'll be back to try and get it.
But Andy, your form, I mean, you're in preparation for a marathon in a couple of weeks, but you must be happy with your form. From the start, you said hello at the start to the athlete. You said goodbye very quick. You ran your own race. Was that the plan all along?
Not really. I wanted to sit in till Heartbreak, but I just got out and felt good, and I was like, oh, I want to control this and run how I want to run. And yeah, I've obviously got Sydney Marathon in 3 weeks now, so that's, yeah, all eyes towards that.
When we talk about the history of this race, Rob De Castella, Steve Monaghetti, your name now is going on that trophy. One of the world's biggest fun run. You've won it. Special day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's you forget, like I'll run back to the start and there'll still be people crossing the line at the start, which is pretty cool. So it's yeah, you just got to enjoy these moments.
Did you say you're going to run back to the start?
Yeah, I need to get back to the hotel, so I'll change shoes and then yeah, run back.
We have got buses available if you want, but otherwise Andy Buchanan is running back.
Yeah, well, I've got to train for a marathon, so.
Well, there he is, guys. Andy Buchanan, 2026 Voltaren, City2Surf champion. What a run. Just over 40 minutes, a superstar.
Thank you so much, Pete Murray, and of course our champion for 2026, Andy Buchanan. What a moment. Andy just said, and we will go into our elite female race because Stacey Winter did come in second. But I just want to quickly say, Andy Buchanan did say he's going to run back to the start line. What an absolute legend.
I'm not sure if our women's winner is planning on doing the same, but here's Pete Murray with the winner of the Voltaren City2Surf women's race, Holly Campbell.
Back at the finish line with our 2026 Voltaren City2Surf female champion, Holly Campbell. The smile on the dial says a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It was really fun out there today. I loved it.
We watched it on 9 Now and, of course, on our YouTube channel. We saw you smiling at the course. We saw a little bit of grimace on the face, but the support out there, Sydney gets behind the local today.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Like, there were so many people out there cheering. It's cool having your name on the bib because it feels like everyone knows you. But yeah, I really appreciate it, especially on those hills. They're really tough out there.
Talk about that course. I mean, we talked to Andy about Heartbreak Hill, but from the moment you start this run, it's electric. The atmosphere, the energy from athletes, people on the sideline, that's what's behind the world's biggest race and the world's best race.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many people out there. I think I tried to not take the hills too hard today because I haven't run the course before. But you know, it was just amazing. I loved seeing everyone, and it was a great day.
What have you heard about this race before the race? I mean, it's iconic. It is the City2Surf. It's 56 years old today. To win it, it's special.
Yeah, it's really special. It was my first time running it sort of in the elite field. Longest race I've ever done, so I was a little bit nervous about that. But I'm lucky enough my sister's come second before, so I think for me, you know, I had a bit of inside knowledge, and I really dreamed about winning this race as a kid, so it's pretty cool.
Well, today shows that dreams do come true. Holly, you're the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf champion. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, Liam, Matt and Tammy, back to you. Hey, the good news is the party's finally started. We've got 8 athletes coming on in. 90,000 is starting. 90,000 are coming back in. Get down to Bondi, folks. It's getting better and bigger as we speak. See you soon, guys.
Well done to Holly. And Pete just happy to have some friends with him down at Bondi now, Tammy.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right, Liam. Well done to Holly. There is so much going on. We have wave starts here at Hyde Park right up until 9:27. We're going to be here, a part of the action. Just huge effort, huge atmosphere. We're going to take a break. There is more to come here on 9 Now and on YouTube for our 2026 coverage of the Voltaren City2Surf.
Mornings start with a Celsius. Fast feet, sharp focus, you've got to stay on. Once you're locked in and the engine's running, you just don't stop.
Back here live from Hyde Park in the heart of Sydney CBD as you continue to see tens of thousands of people preparing to begin their Voltaren City2Surf for 2026. Liam Flanagan, Tammy Barker and Matt Abel here on the desk with the best seats in the house. We've just seen the completion of the men's and the women's elite races. Matty, talk to us first of all about the performance of Andy Buchanan in taking the tape.
Yeah, phenomenal race, right? Like, sorry, 1 second, I just got to go.
Oh,
I just got to go to talk.
Matty is just jumping off for a sec. But Tammy, as we look at the performance of Andy Buchanan, this is the former national marathon record holder who obviously lost the record on the Gold Coast Marathon. Hatsu Stritsos came out in the men's marathon there on the Gold Coast and beat Andy's record by 2 seconds. It was not a devastating is probably too strong a word for the weekend Andy had, but it was a disappointing weekend for him.
And that would have helped him. That would have fueled the fire leading in today's race. We touched on it before. We ran into Andy yesterday, and he had that Champions Cup in his sights. He knew he wanted to win. He probably wanted to break that record too, but he also has other goals for the year. But now he gets to hold that Champions Cup high.
And the other part about this race is, as well as the time, which he missed Steve Moneghetti's 1991 course record by 24 seconds or thereabouts. When you look at it historically, we look back on this race, this is the 56th running of this incredible race, and we look at the likes of Steve Moneghetti and Robert De Castella, Liam Adams is a multiple-time winner of this, Michael Shelley, a Commonwealth Games gold medalist, who's also won this race, Lee Troop. The names just roll off as the greatest distance runners in our country's history. Andy Buchanan is now on that list.
Absolutely, and we did hear with that post-race chat he did with Pete Murray, he's already saying he's coming back next year. So come back to either be the champion again or to target Mona's his race record back in 91.
That's what I love about Andy, is that the fact that he has this title, he will want to defend this title. He is a proud runner who's in great form, and we know that, as he said in that post-race interview with Pete Murray, he's actually about to throw on a different set of shoes and run back to Sydney CBD from Bondi, his accommodation, because he's in training for the major marathon that's happening here in Sydney in a couple of weeks' time. And then on the women's side of things, Holly Campbell, first time in the elite field as an elite racer, and she takes the tape.
46.37. Great racing from Holly. Now, of course, we did have that one camera on Holly all the way. She led that race from gun to tape, which was extraordinary. And then after that, we saw second, third and fourth cross rather closely together. Kind of lonely for Holly in a way. Liam, as someone who's done this race before, obviously she's happy to take the win, but would it have been something she would have wished there was probably a little bit more competition around her?
Look, in a perfect world, I'm sure Holly has one of the other women's elite field with her throughout the race, pushing one another, and a chance to actually race somebody throughout the different stages of this course. But ultimately, she's taken the tape, she's come down, she's thrown down an incredible time of 46.35. We mentioned she's pipped twin sister Paige, who was a runner-up in this race. But we're just seeing the final standings coming through. And Eloise Wellings, our Olympic champion, the mum of three, who's returning from injury, she's finding form throughout races this year. She's come in second place in the women's race this morning. Stacey Winter in third. It's an incredible women's race that we've seen this morning as we welcome our man Maddie back to the desk. The other part about this morning's race, as well as the elite field, is the fundraising aspect to this morning. There is such an incredible outgiving of generosity from everybody around the race. And so far, the funds raised $3,395,485. And don't forget those 76 cents. That is an incredible level of generosity we've seen. Almost $3.5 million raised so far, Tammy.
Yeah, that is insane, Liam. And it just shows how much people want to give. They're not just here to be selfish to get that medal. They are here to give back. Absolutely incredible. $4 million was the charity fundraising target for 2026, and we are so close to hitting that target.
Yeah, that's the part of the race that, for all the elite and the high performance stuff that you see now, we see the gorillas, we see the bananas, we see the incredible generosity, and the hard work. Because when you sign up for one of these races as a charity race, and Maddie, you're not only signing up to try and raise the funds, you got to run the race.
Oh, totally. And a lot of these are like just everyday runners that they go to work, their mums, their dads, and they're out there. 14 kilometres is a long way. I know the marathon is becoming normalised, but for a lot of people, 14 kilometres on this type of course is a huge lifetime achievement. And it's great to see so many of them out there.
Look, we just have someone wearing a North Queensland Cowboys. Is that a Cowboy shirt? I love all the different outfits and running attire that people are choosing.
Tammy's North Queensland bias just coming in there. We're seeing plenty of incredible outfits on course today. We've got over 20,000 runners today, as you can see in the graphic below, who are fundraising for any given charity. We've got 1,000 teams, more than 680 charities being represented out on the Voltaren City2Surf course this morning, as we see shots of the finish line in Bondi there. Look, I know there are some incredible marathons around the world. Maddie, I know you've raced some incredible marathons, but a Bondi Beach finish has got to be right up there for any running race in the world.
Oh, totally. That finish line is huge, and an iconic beach as well. And then it just flows into the after parties, right? This is why a lot of the people do this. It's for the fun. It's to enjoy Bondi for the rest of the day. And they've earned their drinks.
Guys, we're going to soak up this atmosphere a little bit longer here at Hyde Park, and of course out on course. We're going to take a break, but there's more to come with your live coverage on 9 Now and YouTube, wherever you are watching around the world, for the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf.
We know Voltaren City2Surf's elite athletes are fast, but just how fast are they? Steve Monaghetti's men's course record is 40 minutes and 3 seconds. Across 14 kilometres, that's an average pace of 2 minutes and 52 seconds per kilometre, nearly 21 kilometres per hour. At that speed, every 100 metres disappears in a little over 17 seconds, and then he does it again, 140 times, including up Heartbreak Hill. Susie Power's women's record is 45 minutes and 8 seconds. That's 3 minutes and 13 seconds per kilometre, averaging more than 18.5 kilometres per hour. At a steady 5 km/h walking pace, the same course would take around 2 hours and 48 minutes. Our record holders would already have finished, collected the medal and been at Bondi for more than 2 hours. That is how fast really is.
Incredible shots here. Hyde Park, the centre of Sydney CBD, the start line for the Voltaren City2Surf 2026 edition. It's great to be back on your screens for the first time. A live broadcast of this incredible event. First time since 2019. The high fives, the smiles, the colours, the sights, the sounds, it's all here on 9 Now on YouTube. And as we see an incredible shot of the finish line at Bondi Beach, tens of thousands of athletes pouring into that iconic finish line. Andy Buchanan, for those that missed it, taking out the men's race, and Holly Campbell getting it done in the women's elite field. And now it's about the everyday athlete, the hobby joggers, the runners, the first timers. Liam Flanagan here on the desk alongside Tammy Barker, our run guru, Matt Abel, who's been breaking down the elite race for us all morning.
Let's talk about that elite race. How fast is fast, right? We've been hearing this. Matt, we didn't see any course records broken today, but still some good times for our male and female champions.
Phenomenal times, and for both of them running mostly by themselves out in the front, and they've given it a red hot crack at the record today. As we mentioned earlier, the temperatures were perfect, but it just shows how good these records are. They've stood since 1991 from Steve Monaghetti in the men's and 2001 for the females. So they've been standing for a long time, and it just showcases how fast these runners were back in the day.
Andy Buchanan going about 25 seconds shy of Steve Monaghetti's record in the men's race, and Holly Campbell a little over a minute away from the record set by Susie Power. But when you think about the technology that the modern day athletes have to work with as well, Tammy, it does look back on Susie and Mona's efforts and think, wow, they were in incredible shape.
We're throwing out these names a lot, and I just want to kind of have that moment too. I was born in 1977, Robert D. Costella, Steve Monaghetti, those names are just so iconic when it comes to racing. And, you know, we still see Monas doing great things around Australia. But Susie Power, and you mentioned it before, the athletes we are hearing about today, they will go on to be the names that people are talking about. Yeah,
Karen McCandley, Sam Liecki, previous winners of the women's race as well. And now Holly Campbell and Andy Buchanan. We add those names to this list. Incredible performances out there by our elites. And as we see, Hyde Park still tens of thousands of athletes haven't even yet begun their Voltaren City2Surf adventure, Matty.
I know, and Andy Buchanan before on that finish line, when he was talking, he's going to run back to the finish line. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, he's got a marathon that he's preparing for in a couple of weeks' time right here in Sydney, one of the world majors now, the TSS major marathon right here in Sydney. But for these athletes who are in the cattle grids, they're being corralled, they're being very patient. How difficult, Matty, is it? Because for some of them, they will have warmed up a little bit, and now they are standing around trying to calm the nerves and breathe deeply as they prepare to take on the 14-kilometre course.
Yeah, they're in that corral for a long time, and the nerves will be going. And it's hard to contain those, especially because it's a downhill finish. So they're going to start a little bit excited, and they're going to need to really cool their jets before they come up into Darlinghurst down there. So, yeah, but like, how good is it to look around? We've still got a lot of people still starting their journey to Bondi, and what a day for it.
9:27 is our last wave that will kick off here at Hyde Park. I just took a little look to my left. There's kids in the kind of chutes preparing to do their waves. We talked about it before, gentlemen, but our youngest athlete doing this race today for the 56th year was born in June and is participating or being pushed or being carried, run along with their parents. That's pretty cool.
Well, how many races have you done, Tammy?
Don't ask. Not enough.
Zero. There's a not yet 1-year-old.
But you know what I love about that? Andy Reid, great Sydney local, he put up a picture on his Instagram, and a friend of his, a gentleman, he was pushed in a pram many, many years ago. So you kind of wonder, you know, the people that are doing it now, these kids, it's like our legends, right? We have 14 legends taking on the 56 City2Surf. Just the history of that. How many people do we look and see now are going to be continuing to do this race in our future?
Incredible sights as we see people crossing the start line here at Hyde Park. Live coverage back for the first time since 2019. The Voltaren City2Surf. It's been a spectacular morning already. We're seeing some shots of people patiently waiting for their opportunity to cross that line. But you mentioned the stroller. Mitch Scott is that athlete's name. His dad, an incredibly good runner. I think Mitch, as a baby in that pram, recorded a sub-50 time.
Wow.
So thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad, for the opportunity to run so fast. We are here live at the desk, the best seats in the house for the Voltaren City2Surf. The costumes we've been seeing as well. We mentioned the gorillas are back for year 41. We've seen bananas. I got to admit, I don't know if you two saw it, but there was a Wonder Woman, Wonder Man. I didn't know Wonder Woman was quite so hairy. I never knew that Wonder Woman had so much back hair. It's amazing the things you can see down here at the Voltaren City2Surf.
Yeah, we do have the best seats in the house. And thank you for you tuning in now, whether it be around Australia on 9 Now or around the world. We hope that you are being inspired. We're going to take a short break and come back on the other side for more incredible action at the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf.
Good morning, welcome to Sydney and welcome back to the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026. You're seeing shots there of the patient runners awaiting their opportunity to start their race. The 14-kilometre course has already been conquered by our elite field earlier this morning. Incredible performances by Holly Campbell, who took the tape for our women's race, and Andy Buchanan taking out the men's race as well. We're standing by for the podium presentation down at Bondi, the finish line to this iconic 14-kilometre course. Heartbreak Hill awaits all these tens of thousands of runners. I wonder if they all know what they're in for this morning. Tammy Barker, Liam Flanagan, Matt Abel on the desk as we continue to bring you this incredible race coverage.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of first-timers here today, of course, 56 years. A lot of people who have done this race again. It is iconic, Liam. We're going to see the streets, the course, the 14 kilometres lined with so many spectators. But Bondi Beach is where it all wraps up with that great, great finish line. Pete Murray is down there. Very shortly we are going to see those presentations with our first, second and third male and females in the elite race.
Let's go to Pete Murray, who is down at Bondi for the podium presentation. Pete.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the elite men's presentation for the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf. The first place in both male and female elite category will be receiving complimentary return airfares for 2 people from Sydney to Kuala Lumpur by Air Asia X, as well as the event monetary prize. In third place at the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf in a time of 41 minutes and 50 seconds. Give it up for Ed Goddard. In second place at the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf in a time of 41 minutes and 5 seconds, Luke Hins. And in first place, ladies and gentlemen, at the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf in a time 40 minutes, 27 seconds, the 2026 champion. Make some noise, Andy Buchanan. I won't need to read that again, will I, for the females? Let's go, let's just 3, 2, 1. We now welcome you folks to the elite females for the stage, for the women's presentation for the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf. In third place at the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf in a time of 49 minutes and 19 seconds, Stacey Winter. In second place at the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf in a time of 49 minutes and 6 seconds, Eloise Wellings. And in first place at the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf in a time of 46 minutes, 35 seconds, the 2026 champion, Holly Campbell. We're not allowed to invite Andy back to the podium. Then we'll have Andy and Holly, our both male and female 2026 Voltaren City2Surf champions.
Incredible effort by those 2 athletes. Holly Campbell taking out the women's race, Andy Buchanan the men's race. There's some famous trophies in world sport. You know, you think of the America's Cup and the Stanley Cup and the Bledisloe Cup. I've got to say, the City2Surf Cup, it's a pretty snazzy trophy, Matt.
It's definitely one you'd want to have in your trophy room. 100%. Look at that trophy. It's huge. And, you know, it's a part of Australian running history, and something that to have your name on that trophy is something that every elite runner strives for.
Now, we saw Holly there with a beautiful smile on her face. We were talking a lot throughout her race. She just looked so poised with that little smile, but that there, what we saw for our champion today, Holly Campbell, absolutely beaming. I do want to say congratulations to Eloise Wellings and also Stacey Winter, second and third, and for the guys as well. Like, just to see them there on that podium together, a huge achievement.
But now it is all about the hobby joggers, the everyday athletes that have decided to sign up for the challenge of the Voltaren City2Surf, the 14-kilometre course. We continue to see athletes pouring over the start line. More than 90,000 athletes are going to tackle this course today. Some of them for the first time, many of them for the first time. And right now, as we see shots here at Hyde Park in the centre of Sydney, a lot of them just hoping, praying that they will reach that iconic finish line down in Bondi Beach.
We're going to take a short break, but there's more to come on 9 Now and YouTube, wherever you are watching around Australia or the world, for the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf. Actually, we are going to take back. We have just had some great information that Lyndall has been a part of the crowd here at Hyde Park. Incredible, incredible participation. So, Lyndall, good morning. How are things going down with you today?
Yeah, guys, one person who's keeping really warm down here is Daniel, who is dressed in a maple leaf today. I might need you to take this off just so we can actually have a conversation. Now, tell us why you've actually decided to go as a maple leaf.
We just have a pure love for maple syrup. Me and my wife here, we love drinking maple syrup. We drink it every day and yeah, just have a bit of fun.
You love drinking maple syrup. That's intense, Daniel. Now, you said to me earlier you have not run in a City2Surf in over a decade. So you choose today of all days to don this costume.
Yeah, I think the last one was probably a decade ago, but we thought have some fun today, drink some maple syrup and have fun with the race.
At least it'll keep you fueled. You'll have some energy. Have you got little sachets of maple syrup?
We do. We have little sachets that we consume when we run. It's gut friendly, so.
All right, well, everyone wants to get some photos with you. Pop your costume back on and have a great race.
Awesome, thank you.
More amazing people who are raising money for charity again here at the Voltaren City2Surf. We've got Dirk and Karen, and this year you guys are raising money for Asthma Australia, and you change it up every year.
Yeah, we pick a smaller charity that help them out, give them a bit of extra money.
So how many times have you guys raced?
This will be our 5th time.
And why the Flamingos this year?
The Flamingos originated when we were doing breast cancer charity, so we stick with it every year. We love it.
So do you guys actually run? Do you walk? Do you stroll? Have you got any kind of strategy?
Strategy is we run as far as we can down there till we had enough, and then we walk the rest of the way.
And then you just stop along the way and maybe get some photos with people, yeah?
Yeah, there's a lot of stops for selfies.
Well, thank you so much for being so wonderful and raising money for Asthma Australia. Enjoy your race today, guys. Have fun.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I reckon they got dressed together this morning. I think the flamingo look was a good choice, and we see so much colour still. Live shots from Hyde Park here, the centre of the Sydney CBD. We are standing by the yellow wave, not far away from starting here, as tens of thousands of athletes pour down William Street this morning, Tammy.
A lot of first-timers and so many participants coming back year and year again. We've had NRL players in the past. We've got NRL players participating here today. We've had so many celebrities. We've got people from all around the world. I was following the City2Surf Instagram account yesterday, which if you aren't following along, make sure you check it out, hit follow, because you might be inspired to be here at the race next year. But there's families from Shanghai, from Hong Kong, here racing, and this is what I love about this event. It's not just Australian athletes, it's backpackers who are living in Sydney now that say, I want to be a part of this iconic event. People from all around the world choose to race with us in Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you? This iconic 14-kilometre course takes you from right here at Hyde Park down along these incredible beach settings that we saw through Rose Bay and Double Bay. You do have to tackle a little heartbreak hill back there.
A few little hills along the way, but it's such an iconic course. And the views along the way, the atmosphere. We've got live DJs, the residents that get out, the bands. It's a festival. For a lot of these runners that are just out here to have fun, it's a festival and it's about having fun.
Running certainly has become the new night out in Australia, and you can see it here. And we are standing by. This is the yellow wave. They are pouring at the start line like a dog waiting to be let out. Just wants to get out for walkies. Instead, we got tens of thousands of them.
How good is the DJ down here? Like, the atmosphere is electric. I want to touch on this because we're so close to having our yellow wave start, but $63 million has been raised for charities since 2008. $63 million, that is incredible.
There are the flamingos standing by. There's a couple of athletes on the start line not quite sure how to move to this music. The awkward mum and dad step. There's DJ Davola spinning the tunes.
Hey, we thought we had the best seat in the house, but DJ Devola might pip us at the post.
I did speak to DJ Devola before the start. He said if it's windy enough, that does sway a bit up there at the tower, though. So pretty happy with the spot that we've got down here at ground level. Inside 20 seconds until the yellow waves start. This is the view they all wait for. It's empty right now, but in a moment, it will be flooded with the yellow wave runners here at the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026.
And what a day we have today. Perfect conditions. These runners, they should soak it in and enjoy the time out there. But off we go. Our yellow wave is about to hit the pavement of Sydney and make their way all the way to Bondi.
Gentlemen, look at that screen. Like, the shots are extraordinary today. We are right there in the moment with these athletes. There are athletes. There's a 95-year-old female. She's our oldest, or should I say wisest participant today. 91-year-old oldest male participant, right down to a little baby that was only born in June.
So that is our second to last wave start. We've still got the orange wave to go. We are getting towards the back end of the start line here in Hyde Park, Sydney CBD. Right now, the course, the 14-kilometre course from here all the way down to Bondi is filled. It is just nothing but athletes out there for the first time, second time, 10th time, soaking in the ability to run these incredible streets, this incredible course, Matt, with no cars.
Oh, I know. And how good is it to see, like, there's prams, there's kids, there's families getting amongst it. And what an opportunity for them to partake in it, have fun with the family, and get their kids involved. I remember as a kid, and how good is it that the broadcast is back, by the way, since 2019. But watching this as a kid on TV was something that I looked up to and aspired to. And, you know, a lot of these kids and people at home watching this, we may see them on the start line next year.
I love that you have mentioned that, because it is so accessible, right? Whether you're in a pram, or you are walking along with your friends, or you are running, but there is something for everyone. And I think inspiration and aspiration, two great things right here. People could be watching from all over Australia and never been a part of this, or all over the world, and they say to themselves, this is my why, this is my goal, and I want to be a part of a future Voltaren City2Surf.
And the best part about all this is the traditions that the families create for one another. The best time to start a tradition might be next year for anybody who's not taken part in this. I'll tell you a quick story about the Truscott family. Greta Truscott, who's a local run coach here in Sydney, she runs Rejuve Runners in Centennial Park. Her husband, Chris, is running the race this morning for the 39th time.
Wow.
Greta's running it for the 11th time this morning, and their son, Jaden's running it for a third time. This is a family tradition that the Truscotts have. So they've created this tradition. They've got 53 City2Surfs between them as a family, and they'll look to add on that every year. We still see more runners pouring across the start line here in Hyde Park. I wonder how our athletes approaching Heartbreak Hill are feeling right now, Matty.
Yeah, Heartbreak Hill is about 7 kilometres into the race, and it's one of the hardest parts of the course. It's around about a mile long. It goes for a long way. You've got some phenomenal views, but it's steep, and it breaks a lot of people's races, but it's what makes the City2Surf what it is. Heartbreak Hill is something that we should kind of all aspire to, but it makes the run challenging. I don't think City2Surf would be the same thing without it.
Absolutely. We can see footage right now of all of our athletes. Some are running, some are walking. Matty, that was a great breakdown. But let's have a look, a little package now to learn more about Heartbreak Hill.
Every great race needs a villain.
Series, but joining myself, Tammy Barker, and Liam Flanagan on the panel, she's the regional director of the Voltaren City2Surf, Liana Ally. Liana, congratulations on everything so far today. How are you feeling about what's going on?
Thanks, Tammy. I'm feeling pretty ecstatic at the moment. We're having a really amazing day down here. So many friendly faces, so many happy runners getting to start this really amazing run from the City2Surf.
Liana, you say you're ecstatic. How are you really, though? Because an activity of this size doesn't come together without months of preparation and incredible dedication from an amazing team.
Yeah, I have an incredible team. This is not just a one-person effort. This is our whole team really getting in there and doing the months of planning. And so for us to be able to execute it on such a beautiful day is really awesome.
90,000 participants racing here. We're raising our targets 4 million today to top up what has been raised since 2008. So many different people have their why. It must be a great feeling for you as a regional director to look around and see the joy in people's faces, not just here at the start line, but also the finish line.
Absolutely. It is such a community event. And so, you know, everyone comes out and really supports something. They're doing it for themselves, or they're doing it for their family, or they're doing it for something bigger. So we're just really happy that we can be an avenue for them to do that and to really celebrate what they're doing today.
And from a personal perspective, as the regional director, I assume you went out and ran the course a couple of times to get a feel for it ahead of the day?
Oh, obviously.
Yes?
I've been doing it all week. No, look, I'm not as athletic as everyone else, but no, I'm just really stoked to be here.
Liana, thank you so much for joining us. You and your whole team, we know that there's about 1,800 volunteers that are a part of this day, so a huge thank you to all the volunteers, the stakeholders, the partners, the City of Sydney that allow us to close down those roads. Is there anything you want to say to those people as well?
Yeah, thank you so much. We couldn't build an event of this size without our community support, without our volunteers, and especially our amazing stakeholders. They go above and beyond to make sure that this event runs really well, is safe, and everyone is happy and having a fun day.
All right, Liana Ali, the regional director for the Voltaren City2Surf, we appreciate your time. What do you need? Do we need a coffee? Do we need anything? Are you okay?
No, I'm doing great. I'm about to head to the finish line, so I can't wait to welcome all our runners home.
Now, are you running there?
I'm going to catch an Uber,
Okay,
maybe.
she's going to catch an Uber there. Do as she says, not as she does. Liana Ali, the race director there. As we continue to see more and more athletes pour across the start line here. Beautiful scenes, the sights, the sounds, the colours. And whilst we have loved our spot on course here, Tammy, the person who's had the best seat in the house all morning, who's gotten to press the flesh and talk to some of the fantastic runners this morning, has been Lyndall. Let's see what Lyndall's been up to this morning for the Voltaren City2Surf.
I'm with Jeremy and all the fireys behind me. How many you got here racing?
So there's 60 of us in total. 40 of us are wearing the firefighting gear and the other 20 are doing a more conventional run. But we're all raising money for the burns unit at the Children's Hospital.
Which I was about to ask you if you're going to be walking or running today. What are you doing?
Yeah, look, this gear's heavy enough and keeps the heat in, so we walk, we'll keep the fluids up, we'll take a couple of stops along the way, but we still cover a pretty good pace.
You guys have already raised a lot of money for the burns unit though, haven't you?
Oh yes, in millions of dollars over the last 20 years, and we've raised $100,000 this year already, so a great thing, and it's been really good. It's a good challenge for the firefighters to get involved, and good reason for them to fundraise.
Have you found that more and more people are actually joining each year to your team?
Yeah, look, so the big thing is the competition for spots, so we've sort of got to cap it to a certain number just so we don't take over the event, but lots of interest and great support, and it's lovely to see people from all around New South Wales. Our fire stations all around regional New South Wales have got people here as well.
Even seeing you guys all walk down the street together, it looks amazing. It's like a full Ghostbusters moment.
Yeah, we sort of have a visual presence and all the wonderful colours of people in their different running gear, but you get 40 firefighters in our firefighting gear with our breathing apparatus and our helmets. It certainly makes us stand out.
Well, have a great run/walk today, Jeremy. I hope you guys have fun.
We will. Conditions seem pretty perfect, so hopefully we're all done before the rain.
All right, Steve and the Cronulla Run Club behind me. You guys are raising money today for Are You OK?
We certainly are, and it's very exciting to be able to raise awareness on probably the most fun run that there is to offer.
Now, obviously, you guys all run together weekly. How did you convince them all to get involved in Are You OK? Surely it was an easy ask.
Well, we know the correlation between running and good well-being, and the team's all about, being together and connected. So it was a very easy sell. We've been doing it with the Strava Sharks Run Club for about 5 years now, coming down to do this run, so it's exciting. They said there's an opportunity to have some fun, let's come down and do it.
So what kind of prep have you been doing with the team? How do you get ready for this?
How do you get ready? Probably carrying a couple of bags of potatoes, running up some hills, just getting the extra weight. It's about 12 kilos, this thing, so yeah, it's...
It looks like it's just full of air, but it's not. Sorry, I don't mean to touch you inappropriately or anything.
That's okay, that's not what we do the run for, but yeah, we're all up for it. But no, look, it's a really exciting day, lots of charities coming together, and it's all about raising the awareness, right? So the great vibe, and you can see everyone's here for a party.
Well, we love that you've all come down here today, and thank you so much for raising some vital funds for Are You OK? We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Lyndall. Going to have a really great run today. See you out on the course.
Lyndall doing superb work there, speaking to some of the athletes raising money for the charities here at the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026, Tammy.
So many different charities chosen. I just want to go through a couple more of those. The Chris O'Brien Lifehouse, Jewish Community Appeal, Sydney Children's Hospital Foundation, RSPCA New South Wales. But let's recap that. $63 million has been raised for our charities since 2018 when we started acknowledging those kind of targets. $4 million alone for this year, and we are so close to reaching that target. Liam, we did touch on it earlier before in our broadcast, but everyone has their different why and the different charities that they like to run for. And I think it's really important that we've opened up and we have this many charities involved that money can be filtered into.
Absolutely. The Voltaren City2Surf creating a platform for, as you put it beautifully, Tammy, people to find their why, their reason for running. So many, over 20,000 athletes in this year's race raising money for a cause that's close to their heart. And we do have an updated figure of fundraising for this race. We've ticked over $3.4 million raised so far. That number continues to climb through. And some of the charities you mentioned there, obviously we are less than 12 months on from the tragedy that happened at Bondi around Christmas last year. So this is a real moment of healing, I think, for the community down there as the race approaches there. We'll see so many athletes crossing the line past the scene of that horrific tragedy, which we all too well of from last year as well. So a really significant race, the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026 to be a part of.
56 years. Absolutely incredible. And I think that is to the dedication of the participants, the elites, the event staff, the delivery team, the partners, the stakeholders, community members and volunteers. I love that we are a part of this, Liam. You mentioned before too, 2019 was when we last did a live broadcast. But I want to say hi to everyone, wherever you are watching around Australia on 9 Now or around the world, whatever time it is in your country or in your state. Thank you for joining us. We hope that you are inspired, and who knows, there could be a few of you watching right now that put this on their running goals for the future.
Yeah, mark it down for 2027. You want to be a part of this race, that's for sure. We've still got one wave of runners left to start. The orange wave, that'll be our final wave to kick off. We've seen them all patiently waiting their turn behind us, but so many runners out on course. You've got to get through the early stages, the false start, the downhill, then you hit Heartbreak Hill. But then what I like to call the victory lap, the 3 kilometre downhill into Bondi. Once you've tackled Heartbreak and you've got through the grind, you then get this 3 kilometre downhill section where gravity is your friend, Tammy. Let's have a bit of a look about what that final 3 kilometres of the iconic 14 kilometres brings our athletes this year.
11 kilometres down, just 3 to go. By now, Heartbreak Hill is behind you, but the Voltaren City2Surf isn't finished asking questions. The course carries runners through Dover Heights and along Military Road, where the city begins to disappear and the ocean finally comes into view. Bondi is close enough to see, but tired legs still have work to do. The road begins its descent towards North Bondi. Gravity is finally helping. The crowd is getting louder and every glimpse of blue water pulls the runners forward. But control matters. After 11 kilometres of climbing and descending, the final downhill can be just as demanding as the hills. The course opens onto Queen Elizabeth Drive. The finish gantry appears. Bondi Beach fills the background and suddenly the pain has somewhere to go. 3 kilometres become 2. 2 become 1. And after 14 kilometres from the heart of Sydney, the city finally meets the surf.
And that is 3 kilometres from the finish. Military Road there. All these athletes, you can almost see the relief on their face, Tammy, as they've conquered Heartbreak Hill and they begin to roll down into the iconic Bondi Beach finish of the Voltaren City2Surf.
I love watching this footage, Liam. There's so many just different types of humans, different type of athletes wearing so many different things. Some people are running with their phones, some's got water on, some have got ear plugs in, listening to music. But this is the largest fun run in the world, which that's an extraordinary claim, isn't it?
Over 90,000 people, and you think of running's never been more popular, ever. Race entries are rarer than hen's teeth these days, and yet every year, without fail, 90,000 plus people turn out to participate in the Voltaren City2Surf. 14 kilometres of absolute joy. And hasn't the city of Sydney turned it on for us today?
Absolutely. Thank you, Sydney. Beautiful blue skies, a little bit of cloud around. It was 8 degrees or so when we kicked off our broadcast at 7 a.m. this morning. Beautiful Bondi Beach, the most famous postcode, should we say, in Australia. Look how many people are down there, not just our athletes coming across that finish line, but the spectators, absolutely jam-packed.
Well, this is Bondi Christmas. This is Bondi Christmas. Christmas in August for Bondi Beach, because I can tell you what, if you think the run was fun, try finding yourself a cold drink down in Bondi after this. Every bar, cafe, pub is absolutely jammed. It is standing room only, and the suburb of Bondi comes to life on a day like today more than it normally is, Tammy.
11 degrees right now, it says on our screen. Bondi is the largest representation from our athletes, which I thought was extraordinary. But you mentioned that with how busy it is down there, but let's look at the economic benefit of this. People coming and staying at hotels, the flights in and out, the buses, the cabs, the Ubers, and all the bars and restaurants. What events do for the regions and cities like this and suburbs, it's extraordinary.
Yeah, I'd love it to see if they could make the price of beer cheaper, just for today. Just for today, perhaps, Tammy. Just on City2Surf Day. The Voltaren City2Surf for 2026. We continue to see athletes flying behind us here, Hyde Park. We are live on the desk in the heart of Sydney CBD. Lyndall, though, she has been as busy as any athlete out on course this morning. She's been amongst it from the get-go, getting all sorts of fun and fanciful interviews. Let's check out who Lyndall's had with join her this morning.
Matisse from GWS Giants Netball. Oh, welcome. How good's this?
Thank you. So excited to be here.
How many of these have you done before?
This is our first one. So we're running with the Kids of Cancer Foundation. So make sure you donate. But yeah, it's a really good cause, and yeah, we're going to give it a good crack.
Now, you're used to training at an intense level, but how do you go when it comes to running?
Well, I'm a goal shooter, so I've been telling everyone I actually don't run very far, so I think we're going to have to fake it till we make it today.
You girls move around that court pretty damn fast, though.
Well, it's not like this, though. This is a bit different, but I know. We haven't even bought music or anything. We're just going to talk to each other and hope.
You've got music in the background. You've got the vibes.
It's such a good vibe. So
there's so many people that are dressed up. Everyone's here to have fun. So even though it's your first one, I'm sure you guys will be great. You'll be fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're so excited. The vibes are high, and yeah, we're going to try our best.
Give it a hot crack. Seriously, no rest for the wicked. There's no off-season for you girls, is there?
Literally. But yeah, it's good, very good cause, and yeah, we're around some really incredible people. So yeah, we're excited.
We're going to have fun.
Thank you.
See ya. Former NRL and West Tigers legend joining me, Chris Lawrence. You running a City2Surf. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, I don't think long running for footy players, particularly retired footy players, generally goes well, but we'll give it a crack. It's beautiful weather and it's not too cold, so it should be good fun.
I know for a fact you still hold some state record for Little Athletics New South Wales for 100 metre sprint, and you're going to try and do this.
Yeah, the 100 metres. So I'm great until about just before that set of lights down there, and then that's about me, yeah. Was never good at long distance, and I'm still not good at long distance, but it's a really good fun. Great, a lot of people here raising money for some great causes.
And you're raising money for Kari Foundation today. Tell us about it.
Yeah, for the Kari Foundation, they do some fantastic work with Indigenous communities, with youth especially. So there's a big group of us today. Some of that I think have already taken off, and some others that are walking. So I'll be somewhere in between. So for anyone out there, see me on the hill and see me walking, just give me a little bit of encouragement to get up that hill.
Or stop him, get a selfie with him so he can slow down and catch his breath, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I guess I'll be walking up that hill probably with a drink of water and sucking in the big ones.
All right, well, good luck. Have a good run.
Thank you. Cheers.
The former West Tigers great Chris Lawrence there out on course today. one of many famous faces that have decided to tackle the challenge of the Voltaren City2Surf in 2026. It draws all sorts, Tammy, all types, the famous, the unknowns. They all come here and want to be a part of the Voltaren City2Surf and this iconic 14-kilometre course. We are counting down to our final wave start. We've got one wave left to go, the orange wave, and this wave will contain one of my favourite parts of any running race, the sweepers. The people that are the last to come through the course, and like you sweep out a messy room, they are there to sweep the course and to ensure that no runner today, no walker, no jogger is left behind.
I love that you said that, Liam. And I wonder, you know, we focus on the Andy Buchanans, who was the first to cross that finish line, but who will be the last? Because sometimes there are people that want to be that last person before our course does close up. The finish line is going to be going off as it is. Look at this. We can see the famous bananas in their costumes there. We've had so many fun costumes. I'm going to ask you this. What was been your favourite costume today?
Look, there was a Borat mankini, which I don't know if it's my favourite, but you have to acknowledge the bravery that it takes to run in that.
And let's just have a moment. We spotted that on camera, and the camera was capturing the fake Timu Borat from behind. So I apologise to everyone at home, but yeah, that was funny.
You can imagine. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would have preferred a front-on shot of that particular athlete. The colours, the sights and sounds of this amazing event. If you are just tuning in on 9 Now or YouTube, anywhere around Australia or around the world, you might have missed the elite results we had earlier this morning. Andy Buchanan taking out the men's race in an incredible time of 40:27, 25 seconds back on the race record by Steve Moneghetti. But for Andy Buchanan, an athlete that has not had his ideal start to 2026, to come here and add his name to the list of winners, it's an incredible moment for his running career.
Yeah, he's a classy athlete and a really great human being, Andy. So I was so happy to see him take the win there. And of course, on the female side, Holly Campbell, really classy looking woman as well. She looked so elated when she crossed that finish line. They didn't change those course records, but as you mentioned, and you know, nothing on her sister page, but Holly did pip her at the post when it come to her race time.
I don't know what it's like to be a twin, but I imagine with all the special connections that you share, getting one up on your twin is a pretty nice feeling. So Paige obviously taking out second place in 2024. Holly going one better in 2026. As we see the start line here at Hyde Park in Sydney CBD. Tammy, this is what you've been so excited about, some of our youngest competitors for this year's race.
Yeah, we had a little one born in June this year. Like, look how cute is this, these strollers. You kind of look at this and think, how many of these little ones will go on and actually do the races as kids and then teenagers and adults?
It's good to see Zella there in the pram, just fueling up, getting the yogurt in, the yogurt sachet from Dad. The parents that make it up Heartbreak Hill, pushing a stroller, that is superhero type stuff. To be able to grind up that incredible hill of this course with a baby in the front or a child in the front who's probably got no idea of what they're putting mum and dad through.
We love the footage, and of course we're going to have cameras out on site capturing all these moments so well, which our athletes will be able to look back with such fond memories. So many different costumes, so many different styles of athletes, so many nationalities from around the world, which I absolutely love. So a big congratulations to all of our athletes, our participants, 90,000 plus of them that said, yes, I'm going to be a part of this great Voltaren City2Surf.
The shots you're seeing there are of our final wave of runners. This is the orange wave. It will be the last wave in the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf. We've got some bananas there amongst the Voltaren contingent. And these runners will be the last to enjoy the 14-kilometre course. They're going to get the roads to themselves. They're going to get clear running to enjoy the run down Williams Street through King's Cross. And this is where they're aiming for. Bondi Beach, you're seeing shots of North Bondi Golf Course there on your right. Once you hit North Bondi Golf Course, you can almost taste that finisher's medal, Tammy.
Yeah, absolutely extraordinary. This is beautiful. One of the prettiest beaches in Australia, which is fantastic. Liam, I just want to give a shout out. 14 legends are participating in the 56th year for us this year. They started this race back in 1971. We've got 81-year-olds, 56-year-olds, we've got 89-year-olds, but 14, they're all men taking part with so much passion in their hearts. They know what their why is each and every year. They may not run the whole way, maybe they walk a little bit, but a big thank you to each and every one of our 14 legends.
You reckon they've got a WhatsApp group?
Oh, they'd have to, wouldn't
Yeah, I
they?
reckon they've got a WhatsApp group amongst the 14 legends.
I'd love to see what's written in that.
Oh, it'd be an incredible bragging right, and then each year as maybe one of them doesn't finish, suddenly that group becomes a little bit smaller, a little bit tighter. We're seeing some shots here. This is the finish line of the Voltaren City2Surf at Bondi Beach. Our man Pete Murray this morning, he was down there at Sparrows with no one around him. Now, tens of thousands of friends, new friends that he hasn't met before, pouring in across the finish line, stopping their watches and finishing the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026. Standing by for our final race, wave start, Tammy. Counting you down. Wait for the pyros, wait for the DJ.
Anticipation is here. Let's go. This is the last wave start for the 2026 Voltaren City2Surf. This is the orange wave. We cannot just emphasize this enough. 90,000 plus participants. As we look, Liam, right here at our broadcast site at Hyde Park, there are thousands of people.
There go the bananas, Tammy. There go the bananas. Athletes from all walks of life. So many first-timers will be out there this morning. The orange wave.
The orange powder up here. I have goosebumps, Liam. We've been broadcasting since 7 a.m. The Elise race started at 7:35. We do not take this for granted. The production behind this, the atmosphere, the vibe, the energy, it is extraordinary.
I've just noticed a banana that appears to have lost its bunch, Tammy. I'm worried for the banana. He looks like he's that banana that's fallen on the floor and rolled under the table.
That no one wants.
But no one wants, exactly.
We want you, though.
The banana that no one wants, you end up putting it in the freezer and using it to make banana bread. We are just seeing the final wave start. And what I also love about these late waves is you can also see some athletes who mightn't have been able to get their preferred wave start, and suddenly they find themselves having to dodge through the crowds in front of them to make their way and try and chase the time. But that's what happens at the world's biggest fun run. You get to share the road with tens of thousands of new friends that you haven't met before. Who knows what will happen out there. Love might blossom on the roads today, Tammy.
It has been such a memorable day. Wherever you are watching around the world, you might be watching it on YouTube, checking in our social channels, or watching it here in Australia on 9 Now. Stunning weather in Sydney. It's still about 11 degrees. So many people. Liam, it has been an extraordinary race, from that elite race right through to our thousands, tens of thousands of participants for the City2Surf.
Yeah, I found Wally. There was 5 of them together. It's rare that you get the Wally so quickly. My young fella can do it pretty quick. But we continue to see the athletes pour across the start line. And the other part about this race, Tammy, we've mentioned Voltaren throughout the broadcast this morning, incredible partners of this great race. But this doesn't happen without the support of not only the volunteers, but also the partners that bring this race to life. We're talking Celsius, we're talking Adidas, GWN, these incredible brand partners that get behind this great race and make it what it is.
Absolutely, the support is exceptional. The activations out on course, we've seen the Adidas Zone, the Rebel Zone, Voltaren, I mean, you name it. Expo has been extraordinary, awesome. Liam, what an honour to be a part of this. We hope that you have been enjoying this. We hope that you've been inspired as well. It's been incredible.
Let's check out the highlights from the Voltaren City2Surf for 2026.
Check it. Check it.